Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Adrian. I'm joined by the Cream Man himself, Rich Stambola.
The Cream Master.
Welcome to the Joe Rogan experience.
Oh no, this curtain's got me feeling like a Joe Rogan plus Twin Peaks experience.
Are you a Joe Rogan now?
I'm not a Joe Rogan. Oh, you know what? I don't think you'd like it if I was a Joe Rogan. If I got like really effing stoned before the show and just stared at you.
That was
like that.
That was World's End.
Yeah. That's right,
guys. This is the second Saturday show. You know, we're actually contemplating moving the show to Saturdays.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to do this because I have nothing going on today.
Yeah.
I don't do anything on the weekends. Do you plan? Actually, you're working today.
I got shit to
Why
do,
are you working today?
I mean, like I don't mind.
You had a gig and you took it.
Listen, if the wife's working, then that's like, and I have no obligations. We're going to a show tonight. We're going to go see Alkaline Trio tonight.
Nice.
You know.
Can you do me a favor? Can you bring that mic up a little bit?
Just like this?
Yeah, just like
that?
Yeah.
Like this?
Yeah, I want to hear you better.
This thing is, can I squeeze this?
Yeah.
Can I tighten this like real tight?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah,
perfect.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, I love doing a Saturday show. We're a little bit looser here, and it kind of falls in line with what we're planning the next couple of weeks. We are suffering with a name concept, okay? We have a couple names for this new show. It's going to be Rich and I.
Yes.
It's not going to be as loose as this. It's going to be, but it's still going to be us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This show it's morphing into wrestling adjacent,
which is fine.
I
think that's why people like it. I feel like if you want to quantify it, I do think the new show will probably be like somewhere in between what you do on Sundays and what we do here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, just like between, like right there between that. I didn't ask you, MG.
He's not allowed on it. That was part of the deal.
they said no MG Geek.
They're like, listen, whatever you do, that your supporting staff can't come. So we're working with names. If you have a good name for us, something good. I'm not looking to do like the Mark Cast or the
Mark Cast
or any of like wrestling, the kayfabe whatever's. Like the
kayfabe
gigging. Can we just do that? Can we just bleed everywhere on that show?
Sure. The gigging guys.
The gig guys. So we're working on that. We'll have a bigger announcement for that in the coming weeks. I have just been slammed. Next week, I'm going to be in Las Vegas. I got a work trip. So we have to figure out how the hell we're recording next week, if we are. Maybe we could do it on like Saturday morning, remote.
Is there a way I could pop in here?
Yeah.
And then you do it remote.
You want to come to the studio?
Like if I'm in the studio?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, we could do that. So a little housekeeping there. Dude, I've been slammed. Last night, I was a dirty stay out.
Yeah,
I posted a picture. Justin and I went to our friend Lauren, which Rich is friends with too. Lauren's 40th.
Did not know she was 40.
No, nobody does.
Could have sworn she was like in her early 30s.
Yeah. She's
one of the tiniest people I've ever met.
Tiniest people ever.
So small.
Tiny hands. So we went there, and sometimes you get a reminder where we live.
Yeah.
We live in Queens, and it was, and I say this with the best compliment: the Degenerates United.
Yeah,
it's just loud and drunk.
Yeah, Yeah.
A lot of just everybody's cursing. Everybody's arguing, but like very aggressive. Everybody's like friendly aggressive.
Yeah. A lot of ADD. A lot of ADHD going around.
People just start getting up and they're like, I'm taking a walk. And they just get up and leave.
Yeah, just distracted, perpetually distracted. Yeah. I went out. It's funny because like you were saying, like it reminds you where we live. Like I went out for a Korean barbecue last night with my boys, Ralphie and Jonathan. And
where'd you go?
Dope. Well, we went to this place, Padam on Northern Boulevard.
Okay.
But like that, it's so close to us, and it's bumping like Times Square, like that area.
Yeah.
Where it can't find parking. Everybody's out for dinner. It was dope.
Yeah. We live in a great area. If you like to eat and drink and party, this is it's a college town for blue-collared, angry men.
That's the best way to put it. It is. It's a college town for adults.
For adults.
In a weird way.
Yeah.
So many bars. A lot of bars.
Is that not normal to have that many bars in the vicinity of where we live?
I don't know. I think we're very lucky, especially now, because it didn't used to be like that.
Well, after 92, the cop got killed, and then they shut down. Like everything kind of slowed down here, and then it's picked up again. It's a whole thing. Whatever.
Yeah. A lot of bars.
A lot of bars.
A lot of lot of dirty places too.
A lot of dirty places. A lot of massage places. Last night I had a blast. I was a little hungover today.
Are you?
The martinis, man.
Yeah.
They do me in.
Who's bartending?
Nas.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought she didn't work there anymore.
She doesn't. She was subbing in. She made a kick-ass martini. They all make great stuff. It was fun.
They do.
So, what are we doing? Where are we going?
You want to just start with the news?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, WWE and Prime energy drink, right, reached the first ever Center of the Ring sponsorship deal. This was revealed by Logan Paul on last night's SmackDown.
That dopey drink.
It will be on the canvas starting at WrestleMania and then at all PLEs going forward. I don't have a problem with it. I just think it's dopey because, like, New Japan has sponsors on top of the ring.
You think the logo, that actual logo is dopey?
I don't think the logo looks, to me, I think the logo needs a little work.
Yeah.
It's like too plain. Right?
Well, it's the freaking bottle.
Yeah.
I would not have done the bottle. I would have probably done something different. This is not Vince McMahon's company anymore, and this is something that we've said for a while. There's billboarding and advertising, and they've been playing around with this idea. They had the Prime bottle last time. They had the potato chips the other time. So it's a different company. They're trying to maximize on all revenue, and this is something that they've never added to their revenue stream, is in-ring sponsorship.
I also feel like aesthetically, there should be a bottle in each corner facing in. I feel like that would be less distracting.
But you know what's wild to me?
Yeah.
Yes, on the corners.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, what a great opportunity it would be. Like, Rey Mysterio, right? Just giving an example. This guy has the most kick-ass costumes. He's done Spider-Man. He's done Venom. Why can't they get a sponsorship for that?
Right.
Spider-Man movie's coming out. The Venom movie's coming out. Whatever. Have Rey. Then you know what would happen? He would get, but the fucking symbiote would get on him.
Yeah,
they would make him into like a real dark character.
It would get
Great.
real.
It would get real.
I feel like there's got to be some kind of like insane legality to even broach that subject with Marvel or Disney, because then Disney gets involved. I feel like it would be easier if they did like a DC thing.
Okay, John Cena
Warner
comes
Brothers.
back, right? Mortal Kombat right now he's in Mortal Kombat, right?
As Peacemaker, yeah.
As Peacemaker. Why can't we see him come out as Peacemaker?
Would you want to see that?
I actually would.
With that big like toilet bowl
freaking helmet. Yeah, I actually would, because he's so ridiculous in that role. He actually, his acting is something else.
Yeah.
It's not good, but it's not good to the level of it's actually really good.
Yeah.
Like he's a robot.
He's John Cena.
He's John Cena.
Perfectly John Cena. He's no Batista. Batista, great actor.
Batista's a really
fantastic
good actor.
Great in Dune. Dune 2, awesome. Batista, great.
Dune 2?
Dune 2.
What does he think of Dune? Do you think he's into worms? He's into Dune?
I think so. I had a joke last night. I was watching Ancient Aliens, and my wife hates it
good.
when we watch it, when I put it on. But I was like, imagine if Trump, the orangest man on the planet, gave up the presidential election and just was on Ancient Aliens.
They built it. I saw them.
Yeah, like, because they make shit up anyway, so why not, right?
I could have built it. I could have done it.
I know the Anunnaki. They're so great.
so
good.
I've been sending Anunnaki videos in that group chat. I'm getting very deep in the Anunnaki stuff again.
Somebody's going to tell us to stop at one point.
I contemplated getting an Anunnaki tattoo.
Really?
I swear to you. To cover up my terrible one.
Underneath your Andu tattoo?
My Andu tattoo. Yeah, I want to cover the Andu. I'm telling you, that dude couldn't read or write.
It's not a terrible tattoo.
It's a prison tattoo, though.
It's on your back.
Yeah, it's a prison tattoo.
Can't. I think the saving grace is that you can't see it every day.
No, I can't see it.
Yeah.
Terrible tattoo. 16 years old. Went to Jamaica Avenue. Guyanese dude named Yaya. One of our viewers is friends with him.
Wow.
He did my tattoo.
That's the only tattoo you got, right?
Only tattoo I got.
Besides the lightning bolt.
Except for the no-no spot.
Pointed to your junk.
Right by the butthole.
Real quick. Batcher 3000, as always, 199. Good morning, my bust down.
Yeah. OG fan of the show. All right. So Logan Paul comes out. They did that deal with him. Listen, this is a big deal. We're going to see more of this. I hope it looks better next time. And listen, first time they're doing this. I'm sure they're going to modify that thing.
Yeah.
It was very distracting. Very distracting. AEW Revolution. Yes.
I heard it's slippery. It's slippery when they put those decals on there.
Why don't they? But why is it a decal? Why don't they just print it on the mat? I sponsored a Catalyst wrestling show years ago, and I paid for the mat to be painted or whatever they do,
silkscreen or whatever.
It wasn't silkscreen. It was actually, I think it wasn't slippery at all.
Like acrylic?
It was on it. It was like, is that slippery? Come here, let me touch it. Yeah, it was almost like that. Yeah, maybe a little less slippery. AEW Revolution does over 1 million gate for Sting's retirement match. He had over 16,000 people in that building. What an awesome end to his career.
What a great match, too.
What a great match.
We'll get into it.
We'll talk about it for sure. Next, Netflix will stream. I got drunk the other night, and I was like, you know what? For my 40th, I kind of want to go to this.
Really?
I kind of want to see Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
I've never seen him box. Have you? Never seen him live?
No, 57 years old.
57 years old. Jake Paul, he's obviously a stud of an athlete, but
first round knockout.
You wrote Logan Paul. Oh no, Jake Paul. There's Pauls everywhere now.
First round knockout.
Tyson gets knocked out?
No.
Tyson knocks Jake Paul out?
Jake Paul out, dude.
Oh man, you know what? I'm really intrigued by that. Tyson, one of the greatest fighters ever, against the greatest celebrity boxer.
Sure. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
I mean, not to take away from him. The Paul brothers are tremendous boxers.
Yeah.
But there is such a different level between the highest level ever.
Tyson's a monster.
At 57 years old, he's still a monster. But you know what it is? Like, you lose the longevity. Your speed slows down a little bit.
Oh, he's still quick, dude. I think he's still got the stopping power. I think all he needs is
that's my Mike Tyson.
Quick uppercut, and that's it.
He's got old man strength, though.
Yeah.
I went down this Tyson rabbit hole of his early fights when he went pro. These guys had no idea what to do. Like, you had career world champions. Really well-known, established, solid boxers. Not like the best, but solid.
Yeah.
This kid,
19 years old.
He would just pounce at them.
Yeah.
And he would do that that uppercut, and they had no idea. You watch these people just cower like this on the floor.
He looked like $1 million.
Man.
And he was a murderer. There was a thing that popped up this week. I like watching the Tyson podcast too. But there was a thing that popped up this week where he would make sure to knock out his sparring partner so he can get home in time to watch cartoons.
That's fucking great.
Just like, all right, we're done. We're done for the day.
Yeah. Listen, Customato.
He was 17 when all
he found him, and he adopted him after his mother died, and he raised this guy to become one of the great. It actually is a tremendous, painful story. His life.
Yeah.
And he was not a good man, but I think it's so fascinating that he became a part of Americana.
Yeah.
That 80s Americana, Mike Tyson, Hulk Hogan, Donald Trump.
80s, 90s, yeah.
80s, 90s, that time frame was so bizarre.
So big. That's
so big. Everything was big.
That was still that interesting time in American and world history where the Iron Curtain still existed. And you had how the bigness of America was everywhere.
Everywhere,
right?
Yeah.
Like Hogan's part of that. Tyson's part of that.
Michael Jackson.
Oh my God.
That's another one.
Tyson had a great interview with Shatner where Shatner flipped it on him. And he was like, tell me about the guy. He's like, I don't like that guy.
Yeah,
What do you mean you don't like that guy? He's like, I don't like that guy. I don't like him. But I got to turn into him. I think he's going to turn into that guy. He's going to murder Jake Paul.
He's scary when he turns that on, though.
Oh, yeah.
His fight over the pandemic when he had with Roy Jones Jr., Roy was like, I've never been hit that hard in my life. And he was holding back, he didn't want to hurt that guy. That was a terrible commentary one with Snoop Dogg, right? And was it Snoop and Morrow?
I think so. I think so.
What a ridiculous thing that is. Netflix will stream Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson from Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas.
Amazing.
This is going to be a good test to see what Monday Night Raw will be like. MG, before the show, brought up something very interesting. And he said, hey, SmackDown, right? Is it 1080 or 720? And I'm like, I think they shoot in 4K, but it's downscaled because Fox and ESPN are 720p still. because nobody is doing progressive scan. This is where the tech stuff comes in. Nobody's doing progressive scan over the air broadcast, like the cable broadcast.
Right.
They don't do progressive. They do interlaced, and 720p and 1080i. Not that big of a difference.
Right.
But man, if nobody's talking about this, what's WWE going to do? Are they going to be in 4K? Because they did that tennis match on Netflix.
Yeah.
When was that, MG? Like last week?
It was, I think, Saturday or Sunday. It was this last
Saturday or
weekend.
Sunday. And Rich, big hello.
Big, huge.
Big hello.
Huge.
And it was in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
So could Raw go to 4K? I mean, this is something to talk about. I'm going to ask.
I do think they shoot it in 4K, and they have those 8K cameras too.
They do have those 8K cameras.
But like you said, it's downscaled. When I watch Raw, let's say on my iPad on the Spectrum app, it looks amazing.
I want to say the Fox app maybe is 1080.
Okay.
But there's a frame rate issue. I think it's like 1080 30. It's all wacky. Do you remember our obsession over the WWE Network and the bit rate? And I said, I found a way to do the bit rate. 1080 at 4K 60 would be unbelievable.
Yeah.
But we're going to find out. I'm very curious about that, and I'm going to ask, because MG brought up a great point right before the show. I didn't even think about this, and this is something I'm like really into. We'll see what happens.
Well, the PLEs are shot in 4K, right?
But they're not broadcasting 4K.
No. Even when, like, because if you're streaming, right?
They're not broadcasting.
They look great.
4K. The PLEs look great. Yeah. They finally got that. My biggest concern when we were talking about like 10 years ago, when it came to like streaming sports, I kept saying we're 10 years away. We're like a good 10 years away from it looking proper, because the bit rate crushes everything. There's frame rate dropouts, and it doesn't, and it's so visible for live sports.
Yeah.
Especially when the frame rate is dropped, where it kind of looked weird. Like, you know, when, here's a great example. You know when WWE does like the WWE exclusive?
Yes.
And it's like wonky? Because the frame rate is off.
Yeah.
They all do that. All of sports does that.
You know what I find very, very good? HBO streaming basketball.
Where?
On HBO Max. On Max.
HBO
It's
streaming
amazing.
basketball.
It looks beautiful.
I wonder what resolution it's in.
I think it's in 4K.
Is it? I want to find out.
Unbelievable.
Somebody I'm sure somebody knows.
I watched the Knicks game on my bedroom TV streaming on HBO Max. It's amazing.
Josh Colm. What do you call him?
America's oldest frat boy.
America's oldest frat boy is texting me. He's like, "What happened to your lower lip? Beard missing hair. Is it
Where?
my beard?
Like here?
Yeah, it doesn't grow here.
Yeah. I think he's just looking at your face for the first time.
I think so. I think so.
He was like, he hasn't been around, huh? Did you ban him?
No, he's never around anymore.
He's like right over the bridge, right?
Josh?
Yeah. He's in Connecticut, right?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
He's in Maryland.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
Oh, I thought he was in Connecticut. Never mind. He's right over several bridges.
He's right over several bridges. So this is going to be a good test. I'm curious to see what Netflix does with this. I'm very excited. I got loaded last night. I told Jess, I'm like, I kind of want to go to this.
Would you go?
You know, if it became a thing.
40th birthday.
40th birthday.
40, big 4-0.
I showed you, right?
Big 4-0.
I showed you what I
over
got,
the hill. Yes. You're going to fill that with champagne?
Yeah. If it was like something just like, listen, Rich and I spoke about this. Everybody's going. We're all going to see this. There is a 60% chance I would be like, fucking great.
Yeah.
But there's that 40.
I know.
Where I could be in a depressed state.
That is a heavy 40%.
That's a heavy
I know
40%.
That 40%.
Everybody's experienced this where I just melt down.
I think honestly we could try to get press. Might be able to.
I mean, it's 100,000 person stadium.
If we can get press, get a little closer, I feel like that would sweeten the pot.
Bring them sandwiches.
Yeah.
Get them press.
Bring us. Yeah. Bring them press.
All right. What else do we have, Rich?
Let's see here. We got this is what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
Apparently, working with the Elite is the main reason Okada signed with AEW. And as you saw on Wednesday night, what a debut. What a heel turn. For weeks we talked about how do you debut Okada? you can't have him be just another guy, right?
No, you can't have him just be. And it's almost impossible. His presence is so big.
So him being introduced by the Business Bucks, suit, Rainmaker to Eddie Kingston, great. Them firing Hangman and Kenny Omega from the Elite, and now the Elite is the Bucks and Okada.
Okay.
I'm here for it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love all of it.
No, I want to see what they do. He's so big.
He's so big.
I'm going to tell you, WWE
6'3"?
actively wanted him. Okay, WWE actively wanted.
Of course.
him.
Why wouldn't? Of course they did.
You know, look at how he looks, his wrestling ability, great crossover in a market that they want to capitalize in. Total stud.
Still on the young side.
Still on the young side. He has quite a few years left. How could you not want him?
Yeah.
But I think for him, you know, he'll still be able to do New Japan stuff.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be him and Eddie Kingston for that title.
I love it.
Okay. So, okay. I'm into that. I think Okada should crush him. We'll talk about this.
Yes.
Very exciting to see him there. And my only problem was, why would you not advertise this?
Yes.
It's your after pay-per-view show. You only had X amount, a couple thousand people there. Didn't advertise it. Your viewership was lower. If you had advertised Okada is coming, in whatever way you want to do it, wouldn't it have helped?
That's an interesting point to make. You would think that they would have sold out that arena, especially since it was hot after the pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
Maybe internally that's what they thought. They were like, people are going to be there anyway. We don't really need to spend extra money on
I think, honestly, my opinion is, this is only my opinion, and I don't say this in any negative, disparaging way, okay? I think what happened for a while was they were very hot with these the gates, okay? They were very hot. And that's because a lot of people after the pandemic started traveling, and they wanted to get out of whatever state that they were in. They wanted to do something different. There was extra money available, and they rode that train for a while.
Yeah.
And it became a destination show. I know so many people that travel to all these shows.
Oh, yeah.
That first Grand Slam, people were traveling from states that are nowhere near New York.
And countries. Countries nowhere
And
near New York
countries.
also.
Okay? And that's what happened with a lot of the pay-per-views also. And that's what happened to when they went to Texas or they went to California. They went whatever. Now, it's you're catering to the market that you're in.
Right.
So they just didn't pivot quick enough.
Sure.
That's how I see this.
Yeah, that's your opinion.
So, yeah, they're not announcing Okada because they didn't need to.
Right.
Because you know what? The what ifs on the internet was enough for people to say, you know what? Where was this? Where were they last week? What state were they in?
Were they still in South Carolina?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But you went. You know, George. Okay, they were in Atlanta. Yeah. Big market.
For sure. Right?
If they announced
wrestling
Okada,
town.
you don't think they could have put another 1,000 people in that building?
Well, I think maybe it was smart of them to not spend money on so much marketing because now next week you're going to get, oh shit, Okada's here. Oh, Osprey's here. You know, kind of like an internal machine of...
And that's part of the argument, too.
You know, yeah. So who's to say what's right or wrong, you know?
I don't know. I think when you're bringing in less than 3,000 people into a building and you got Okada debuting, you know, that's a problem. Whatever. We'll talk about this when we talk about the show. On a Twitch stream, Kenny, by the way, is streaming now on Twitch. He revealed that he had to get emergency treatment recently, and he still doesn't know if he needs to get surgery. He's plagued with these problems.
I hope he comes back better than ever.
Man, me too. Because he looked so good when he came back.
Yeah.
He came back, he looked like $1 million, and then they suspended him.
Would be cool if when he comes back, they put him in a suit and he's just rejoins the Elite as like another suit guy.
As another one? Well, he's kicked out of the Elite. Did you see this?
Yes.
Okay. Kevin Kelly, talking about kicked out, was fired by AEW, according to people. Kelly was removed from the AEW roster page. This seems to be something. This seems to be something. This seems to have to do with something that happened with Ian Riccaboni.
Right. Interesting.
Apparently, they don't like each other for a long time. I don't know. I always thought Kevin Kelly was fantastic in New Japan.
Yeah.
I loved his
Great New Japan.
I loved his Ring of Honor commentary. I feel like he did not mesh well on Collision for whatever reason.
I don't know what it is, but yeah. And then I think also part of the reason may have been that he really went off online about everything.
They were in Duluth. Duluth, Georgia, not Atlanta. Yeah, I don't know. I wish him the best.
Yeah.
Very talented, long-time voice of professional wrestling. These things happen.
Yeah. Where do you think he'll end up? Back in New Japan?
I don't know. I have no idea. Who's the commentary team for Impact right now?
Oh, smart. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, Impact fans. Be careful with the next point of news right here.
You should do it.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Mercedes Moné,
Yeah.
on a recent podcast, formerly Sasha Banks, said she still thinks she'll end her career in the WWE. That's her according to a podcast. And she thinks she's finally found her next home in pro wrestling because she's been making, quote unquote, big business moves.
Yeah, I mean,
Next week, AEW Dynamite,
big business.
big business.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep doing the air quotes.
Of course she'll end it in WWE. I think everybody eventually will end up there.
Moxley, Jericho.
Why would you not?
Yeah, everybody.
Why would you not show up and do something?
Okada.
You never know.
Yeah.
As of last night, AEW Big Business, TD Garden, Boston, Massachusetts. 7,026 tickets distributed. Their current setup is for 7,991.
Great.
Shy of 8,000. If 965 tickets available, they will be probably close to that number. When they last ran that venue for Blood and Guts, they had way over 8,000 people.
Yeah.
So
it was almost 9. It was just
it was
under
almost 9. Yeah, it was almost 9. All right.
Fun.
Let's
gonna
see.
be fun. Yeah.
Again, was this enough to convince people to show up there? You've already said it. Everybody knows that knows. Why not open this up to people that don't know?
Yeah.
There's many people that don't watch AEW, and they're Mercedes fans, they're Sasha Banks fans. Why not allow them to get access to this by announcing it to some extent?
It's interesting. I know a few people who live near the TD Garden, right?
Yeah.
And they're wrestling fans. And these are separate people. They don't know each other. And they have said the same thing. I really want to go to the show, but I just would rather watch it on TV.
Yeah, and I get that. I think that's a lot of people.
Like, but what can you get? What can you do to get somebody off their couch?
That is the hardest thing because you compete with everything. You're not just competing with TV. You're not competing with your kids' basketball practice. You're competing with TikTok.
It's comfort.
It's comfort.
Comfort.
And listen, they do shows at UBS all the time.
Absolutely.
We never go.
Nope.
Why?
You know why. We both know why.
I know why.
It's the thought. It's the thought of our future selves being stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
Right? Never getting out of the arena.
Okay, we went to World's End.
That was great.
Why?
Also, we didn't get home until 3 a.m.
We did not get home till 3 a.m. Well, we stayed for the scrum.
We stayed for the scrum.
Yeah. Are we doing it again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to do that little dance for Tony. And piss off the entire internet. What do you think they're going to do? Listen.
Doing this.
Yeah. Tony, can I show you something? And you just start doing it?
Yeah.
And
it's
then
my
ask
prerogative.
And then be like, hey, listen, what'd you think of it?
Do you like it?
You like it? Thanks.
I don't care. Do that.
I get it. Give me a show in Manhattan, I'll go.
Yeah.
Listen, New Japan ran that show. What was it? Massacre on 42nd Avenue Street? Whatever the fuck they called it. Remember that? I didn't go.
Nah, you know what? Like,
why? Why wouldn't I go?
There was a weird thing. My wife was like, are you going to go to that New Japan show? I was like, no, I'll watch it. I'll watch it at home.
I'll watch it at home.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because it's like, maybe we're just getting like,
Maybe we're just getting old.
We were getting a little older because I was talking about this where like we used to do so much shit where it was so inconvenient when we were kids or younger. And now I'm like, I don't know if I have it in me or if I'm reserving it for something.
That's a good way. Yeah, no, we just don't have it in us.
I feel like I'll reserve it for something.
Like
I think
10 years ago, dude. 10 years ago, we
Yeah.
were still out of our minds.
I think you reserved yourself for World's End.
I did reserve myself for World's End.
You
I
didn't-
didn't complain.
No, you didn't crash. You
I
didn't
did not
complain.
crash. No, I had a great time.
Very alert, 3 a.m.
Yep, very alert at 3 a.m. I could have, if you were like, let's go and get breakfast. I would have done it.
At 3 a.m?
Yeah.
Diner?
Yeah, I would have gone to
That'd
North
been fun,
Shore.
yeah.
I would have gone to a diner. WWE celebrates reaching 100 million YouTube subscribers. Triple H unveiled the red diamond plaque.
Mhm.
Also, Vince sold approximately 25% of his TKO stock last week. It comes out about 400 million in cash. He still owns about 8.3% of TKO after the sale. Interesting.
Guy's getting out of the country.
She's going somewhere
Guy's
else.
flying the coop.
All right, what else do we have here?
You want to do some quick hits
Yeah,
from
let's
Raw?
do some quick hits.
So, we already saw this, but Cody and Seth teased facing the Bloodline on SmackDown, which they did. Drew McIntyre is warning Seth that he's taking on too much. Fine. I can't wait to see that play out, to be honest, at WrestleMania. The Drew McIntyre Seth stuff. Liv Morgan interferes in Becky Lynch's match against Nia Jax. Sets up Becky versus Liv on next week's Raw. Drew beat Jay. Bloodline getting involved. And Michael Cole and Pat McAfee actually acknowledged Sting's retirement during Monday Night
Yeah.
Raw. Classy move. I think that was a Triple H call.
I'm sure like that would have never happened previously, right?
Mhm.
McAfee's like, oh, it was a great match. He had a great wrestling match.
Would you have been upset if at the end of Sting's last match they redid the ending from the WrestleMania?
Where he lost?
Like Hogan and Nash come out.
And Sting's looking insane.
Yeah.
Sting's son.
Yeah, both of them.
Both of them look great.
Awesome. The Surfer Sting,
Surfer Sting was...
it was like, you know what it was? It was like looking at the video game render. Like if that was the picture of Sting from like 2K24.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, it's perfect. You know, that kid looked like his dad. Very big. They did the splashes. Very nice.
Isn't it awesome that they were able to dress up like their dad for his final day of work?
So good.
For me, it would be...
Mhm.
I mean, just the contrast, right? They got to put on this fucking cool outfit. They went out there, fucking did their thing. I would be a mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
I would put on a mechanic outfit and go sit miserably for 14 hours and rotate tires and rebuild transmissions. You know?
And to no applause.
What would you be dressed as?
Just a guy.
Just a guy.
A landlord.
A landlord. Amazing.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Let's see what do we got here. Next week, Raw in Houston, you get Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan, Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler or Zoe Stark for the tag titles, and you have a gauntlet match. This is interesting. A gauntlet match with Ricochet, Chad Gable, Sami Zayn, Nakamura, JD McDonough, and Bronson Reed. The winner faces Gunther at WrestleMania. Who do you think should face Gunther, and should they take the belt off of Gunther?
I don't know. I don't think Chad Gable should beat him.
Okay.
I don't care. I don't want to see
Setting
that.
Though. That's
What?
the one they seem to be setting up.
That seems to be the
Yeah.
one that they're setting up.
He cut a pretty intense promo on Raw, so I'm wondering if that's where they're going.
I really wanted to see Brock and him though, as a match.
That ain't happening.
That ain't happening.
My buddy picked up the new WWE game, and he said all the people who needed to get blurred out are blurred out in the game.
Who's blurred out?
Vince.
Yeah. Anybody else?
A lot of the refs.
The refs.
Yeah,
Why?
because they cut. It's 40 years of WrestleMania, so they cut to actual footage.
And why'd they blur out the refs?
I guess they didn't want to pay them.
They didn't want to pay him. Yeah.
So he was saying in the Hogan Andre match at the Silverdome, they cut to like the actual clip, and the ref's face is just blurred out.
Who was the ref for that?
I think it was Hebner.
Was it Hebner or was it Gorilla's son, Joey Morella?
I want to say it was Hebner.
MG, can you find that out?
MG, do you know off the
I'm
top of your
looking
head?
it up right now
MG, why are you growing your hair so long?
because I like it.
It was Joey Morella.
Was Joey Morella?
Yeah. Man, I remember that.
I think you should braid it. I think you should do cornrows. Like
Yeah.
Brian.
You got to do cornrows. You could do it. You're allowed.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. You're from Michigan. You can do whatever the hell you want. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Can you
we don't
imagine he
count.
does a white rapper gimmick?
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah. Me too. Like an 8 Mile guy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The 8 Miles actually inspired from MG's life story.
Johnny Ace was blurred out as well. Okay.
Okay. There
I
you
didn't
go.
even know he was in it. I mean, rightfully so.
Very interesting. Yeah. They didn't even like cut the footage. They were just like, we're blurring everybody out. Who cares?
You want to talk about Anunnakis, dude? This shot of you, it is like you're on Rogan. You want to be like an expert on Anunnakis?
Sure. So anyway, but you have to not pay attention to what I'm saying.
No.
You have to look at me dumbfounded like Joe Rogan.
Wow.
Like,
wow.
yeah, like exactly.
Wow.
So what you're saying is they come from outer space?
They come from outer space. Wow.
They come from the Pleiades. It's a star cluster that's 20,000 light years, 20 million light years away.
Beta Ziticolon?
The Beta Ziticolon.
All right, SmackDown
The
last
pyramids
night.
point to the Pleiades.
The pyramids point to the Pleiades. Do you know about the Great Pyramid Wars?
The great no.
That's what I'm into right now. Look it up. The Great Pyramid Wars. I can't watch Dune, by the way.
Why?
I can't. It's too much.
Too much sand?
Too much sand.
Too much sand?
Too much sand.
Listen, I saw Dune 2 on Monday. I had a martini at Press. Legit. Ashley made a
I heard. Ashley
phenomenal-
told me.
It's funny because that's like a weird echo chamber we're in because the first thing I was like, I'm going to get a martini. And she goes, Andrew sent me that video. That's pretty cool. And I was like, oh,
Which
sweet.
video?
Of us talking about martinis.
Yeah.
So I had one and Bob was there hanging out with Bob. And we went to go see Dune. 3 hours long, masterpiece. Loved it.
Did Vicky love it?
She loved it.
I can't. They're too long.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. I'm a fan of the books. Too.
I know.
So
I just. But again, I'm not into Star Wars.
That is true. This is the origins of Star Wars, pretty much. But I think you'd like this.
I need to give it a chance.
Yes.
And you know what I've been watching?
I do think I think if you could suspend your internal commentary, you'd have a great time.
Okay. What I do is I watch videos. I have select people that do reviews.
Okay.
And it helps me get into it.
Okay.
So it'll talk about like the Dune, like it'll just go into the whole story of Dune, right? And I'll watch it and I'm like, okay, I'm into this. I have tried with Dune. I can't get into it.
Okay.
That's how I got into Game of Thrones.
Okay.
I wasn't into it. And then I started watching some of these videos and I'm like, oh, I'm really into this.
Okay. Interesting.
Can't do it with Dune. I tried it with Star Trek. Star Wars. Can't do it with Star Wars. I could watch Star Trek all day, all night.
Okay. That's cool. I love Star Trek too.
It just does it for me.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Is it just sci-fi in general where you're like, I don't like what's happening?
I love sci-fi.
Uh-huh.
I love the Sci-Fi Channel.
Uh-huh.
I love Sci-Fi the punk band.
Okay.
I like sci-fi in general. Just, I don't know.
I've known you for so long. I'm still trying to figure out your tastes. I know what you like and I know what you don't like. I feel
I like all genres, but I like a very specific thing.
if you watch Dune, I feel like you're gonna do that thing where you're like, what's the point? Why is he doing this?
Why is he?
Why is he there?
I feel like that about a lot of comedies.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. If I told you the things that I find so unfunny, you would think that I'm out of my mind. I'm one of the most unfunny people in the world.
I know you don't like Jackass,
Hate Jackass.
even though I think Knoxville's a genius.
I hate Jackass.
And
Not my thing.
Steve-O's a national treasure. What's your favorite comedy?
Like a film.
Yeah, like a film. Duck Soup. You go back that
I
far?
don't know.
Marx Brothers.
I like. You know what? I like a lot of like the '80s stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Like the National Lampoon shit. I love.
Here's a better question.
Yeah.
What movie could you put on that's funny that will make you laugh every time you see it?
Goodfellas.
No matter what.
Goodfellas is hysterical.
It's all right. Goodfellas is pretty funny.
But see, I find people's absurdities funny.
Sopranos.
Like I don't like.
Yeah.
I did not like Anchorman. Okay.
Really?
Not my thing.
Interesting.
I get it. Not my thing. I don't like any of those like
Hangover?
stupid.
Dumb and Dumber?
Uncomfortable.
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers is the only one I could
movie.
stomach because I like Steve Brule.
Okay.
John C. Reilly. I'm into him.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I like weirdo humor. Tim and Eric. I'm into that.
Have you seen
Eric Andres. Bird
Eric
Up.
Andres? Did you see the Between Two Ferns movie?
No.
I think you'd really enjoy it. I feel like the absurdist.
40-Year-Old Virgin. Here's another great example. Are you into that?
I mean, I've seen that movie ad nauseum.
I watched it for about 25 minutes and I said, this is dumb.
I don't like the idea that this guy's a virgin.
I'm like, just you know? It's very easy. What are you bitching about? He has to get waxed. So what?
Yeah.
Don't be a bitch. Rip that hair out.
Well, here's to tie it into wrestling. Batista's in Dune 2.
Is he like a Sandman?
Yo, he's nuts in it.
Is he crazy?
He's nuts.
Is he the worm?
No, he's not the one. Close. He's very intense and very bananas in the movie.
Good.
Like, all he does is yell at people and kill people.
Love it.
But like, he's supposed to be like the not to give it away, but he's supposed to be like one of the guys in charge, and all he does is yell at his subordinates and then murder them.
Great.
King of Queens.
Spaceballs.
Seinfeld.
Great
You like
movie.
Seinfeld?
Love Seinfeld.
Yeah. Seinfeld makes you laugh.
Jerry, I went to go see Dune. Dude, why so much sand? Worms.
I'm very interested about. We got to unpack this at some point.
I love Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yes.
However, I have great difficulty watching in a marathon. I can only watch one episode at a time.
I could see that.
It gets very overwhelming.
I could see. Have you caught up with this season?
I have not. No, I have not seen anything from this season.
So good.
I know. I've seen clips. All right, let's talk about SmackDown.
Let's get back. This is a loose Saturday show,
Fuck it.
guys.
Saturdays, man. Saturdays.
Let's get into the Hall of Fame.
No, we didn't talk about any of those.
Do you want to go into SmackDown?
Yeah. Let's go into SmackDown.
Logan Paul opens the show, announces the sponsorship deal. We talked about that already. He brings out KSI, who gets RKO'd by Randy Orton. Too many initials. KSI, RKO. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens defeated Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I want to know where that stuff is going.
I don't know.
Bobby Lashley defeated Karrion Kross via disqualification.
Karrion Kross looks gnarly.
He does.
He looks wild with that hair.
He does. I like it. Tiffany Stratton defeated Michin.
You could tell the emphasis on Tiffany right now.
Yes.
They're really trying to make her.
Yeah.
And she's over. The crowd.
And she is over. The crowd is into her.
Yeah.
And she looked good this week.
Very cool. What was this the debut of Dragon Lee on SmackDown? Dragon Lee versus Angel? Angel
No,
Garza?
maybe.
He's been on it before. He's been on SmackDown before. He's just been a while.
Okay. And Cody and Seth answer The Rock's Bloodline challenge, which I thought was a great segment.
Yeah.
Now, I got a question for you, which I posed in the group chat.
Okay.
The Rock looks very inhuman.
Yes,
right?
very.
He's wrestling the first night of WrestleMania.
Yes.
Do you think he will wear trunks or will he wear cargo pants like Roman?
Or will he wear like Bobby Lashley tights? Like long boys.
Yeah.
I think he's going to wear the trunks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because, like, looking at him, he's insane. He's built, right?
But
I don't think his legs are like, The Rock used to have, like, these giant gams.
I think that's the only reason why he would. Because that is one thing. When you hit a certain age, your legs start going.
Unless you're Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get that skinny leg problem.
Yeah.
I don't think Dwayne is suffering. Dwayne's legs are tremendous to begin with.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think he's going to wear the undies.
Yeah. It's no body shaming Dwayne. That guy looks like a statue. But I thought about that when I saw him on the ramp.
I don't want to see him in cargo pants and no shirt.
That'd be cool.
I don't want to see it.
Just like the unification of like him and.
I think Roman's going to go to the undies.
Oh, he hasn't done that since FCW, right?
He hasn't done that since FCW.
Yeah. Fascinating. This is the stuff we talk about. Cody and Seth accepting The Rock's challenge. Seth looking like a big comfy pillow. The feed cut off right after the slap. Cody slapped The Rock.
Okay.
After The Rock mentioned Dusty.
Yes.
Right?
So was that by design? Or did they just run out of time?
Did The Rock go too long?
Did The Rock go too long? I don't know.
I think so. I think that too many pauses.
That's what MG said to me.
Yeah.
It was a lot of pauses. But was it done by design to almost kind of like it almost felt like, oh, you're gonna miss the slap because he controlled the narrative, he controlled the time. Because he was saying, "I'm the boss."
Yeah, I really like that part too. Like, I'm on the board. That means I'm your boss.
I'm your boss, and I'm your boss. But he did also say that he wants to get rid of that other title.
Mm-hmm.
The hell does that mean?
He threatened Seth by doing that.
I'd be into that. I kind of like. I like that dynamic, So now, for night one, right? Seth eats the pin, right?
Seth eats the pin, or I don't know.
I think Seth takes the people's elbow, eats the pin,
and then what? He wrestles the next night against Drew McIntyre,
and then he loses.
Right. I do think he should lose,
and then Cody overcomes the entire bloodline.
Cody overcomes the entire bloodline,
but at some point during that match, I feel like that main event is going to go like 35 minutes.
But they did do this again.
Yeah.
Seth did do this thing, right?
Does Seth turn on? I feel it makes no sense if Seth turns on Cody.
I don't think any of this makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
No,
I
it
don't.
makes zero sense.
I've been very vocal about this,
Yeah.
and it seems like I'm one of the few people that's very vocal about this, and I felt the same way about MJF and Adam Cole, right? I have the same feeling towards this. It doesn't feel right, and it feels like a patch job.
Yes, 100%.
Okay? I'm
100%.
sure it's going to be fantastic, and everybody's going to eat it up, and I'm going to love it when it happens because Dwayne is out there, Roman's out there, Cody's out there. These are all the best of the best. It was very convoluted.
I do think the ending to that WrestleMania match is going to be some miscommunication between The Rock and Roman. Rock turns on Roman, Cody wins, and you're not going to get the show ending with Cody celebrating. You're going to get the show ending with Rock yelling at Roman on the mat saying, next year, it's me and you. I got work to do.
I don't want to wait a year. And that's part of my problem.
Okay.
It could be me. That's an Andrew problem. I don't know.
SummerSlam.
I wanted it now.
Mhm.
I wanted it now because you don't know what next year's bringing.
Yeah.
WWE is confident on this, that they feel like they could extend this another year. Great.
For sure. You can't extend the
I have
Cody
a
stuff
fun
another year.
fact here.
But also,
Here's a fun
let me
fact.
get my thought in real quick. MJ.
Sorry.
I do like the fact that they brought up the stipulation from AEW where if you lose this match, you can't fight for this title anymore.
Did he say that?
He did. So
Fucking guy can't lose again.
I think Cody cannot lose. The
He's
story
going
has
to
be
Impact
complete.
after this.
Oh my god! I'm telling you, man, Forbidden Door. He's going to be the Forbidden Door. He's going to show up with that belt.
That would be something else.
Mhm.
That would be industry changing. You know what? You have made some insane rich fan fiction that has come true.
Yeah.
You have. And it's never been something small. It's always been something huge. I don't know. All right, go MG. What is it?
So I just wanted to add. So if this tag match, main events night 1, Roman Reigns will have set the record for the most main events at WrestleMania.
Wow.
He'll pass.
That's cool.
He was going to tie Hulk Hogan. Now he'll pass him this year.
Wow. Oh, brother. Better put an end to this.
If that match main events, which
Hogan
I don't
comes
see
out
why
of the
it won't.
crowd at WrestleMania.
Tum-tum. Ooh, brother. I did that the other day. We got I can't eat carbs anymore.
Yeah.
Just my gout kicks in.
Got that glute now.
Can't. And Jess is like, "What's the
King's
matter?" And I did
disease.
one of these. I came downstairs like, "Oh,
Like, what are you doing?
my tum-tum."
My tum-tum.
Great Hulk Hogan impersonation. All right, where were we? Yeah, so they came out. Cody and Seth. Rock Roman is now official for night 1 of WrestleMania.
Great.
WrestleMania report. Hall of Fame. Paul Heyman to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Great.
It's in Philadelphia. Why not?
Love it.
Bull Nakano also being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Great.
Love it.
And the U.S. Express. Mike Rotunda and Barry Windham.
How cool is that?
Very cool.
How cool is that?
Very cool.
Little side note. Did
Yeah.
you know that their original theme was Real American?
U.S. Express was Real American?
Mm-hmm.
Then it
And
became Born in the USA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know who had a
From
great one? The
Spring King.
Rougeaus.
Yeah.
What was the Rougeaus?
All
theme?
American boys, down, now, now, all American boys. Wasn't that the Rougeau theme?
I can't remember.
Because they weren't all American.
So this seems like it might lead to a posthumous Hall of Fame induction of Bray Wyatt.
Is that what we're thinking?
Because you're getting, his dad and his uncle.
To be there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I think that might be it. And then probably another couple other people.
Maybe. Let's see.
Yeah.
WrestleMania lineup. Night 1. Rock Roman. Cody Seth. Night 2.
I'd be happy if that was the entire show.
Just that match.
Just 3 hours of them
They just
going
do
at
wacky
it.
stuff.
Oh my God.
Start chasing each other through the arena.
Yeah, some kind of like car chase happens.
Yeah. Car chase. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like a rooftop chase.
Night 2, undisputed WWE World Championship, Universal Champion. Well, he is not. It doesn't say Universal Champion on that title.
Mm. What's The Rock keeps
It
calling
says
it?
undisputed.
The Rock keeps calling
Rock
it Universal.
keeps saying Universal title. Yeah,
I know they do, but there's something that happened where I think they future-proofed that title because they don't. I know many people do not like the term Universal Championship in that company. So they compromise and they put undisputed on it.
Okay.
And not Universal. So we'll see what happens. World Championship, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. WrestleMania 40, night to be determined. You have Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch. You have Io Sky Bailey. Intercontinental Champion Gunther defends his title. Pat McAfee will do his show live from WWE World the Friday before WrestleMania in Philly. And Wheatley Vodka officially named the vodka of WrestleMania. What the fuck is Wheatley Vodka?
I'm gonna look
I think
that up.
Cody
right
invests in it.
It's a Cody thing?
I believe
Wheatley
it is. He
vodka.
has a
Wow, it is
Boston
available
and everything.
locally.
Yeah.
Is it?
Interesting.
Mhm.
The truth is in the taste. Wheatley vodka.
I don't know anything about this vodka.
10 times distilled for ultra smoothness. I'd give it a shot.
All right. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's great. Weird to have a vodka sponsorship.
I know, right? Well, they're
So
like,
odd.
it's 2 nights, guys. Better
Yeah.
load up on
Better load
booze.
up. And it's very long nights. All right, AEW Revolution. Let's go through this quickly, and then we'll go into Dynamite and your viewer questions.
Your pre-show, the acclaimed Anthony Bowens, Max Caster, Daddy Ass, Switchblade Jay White, Austin and Colton Gunn defeated Jeff Jarrett, Jay Legal, Santum Singh, Private Party, and Willie Mack with Karen Jarrett and Sanjay Dutt. A lot of people. I like how they put a lot of people on the pre-shows. Very New Japan style of booking.
Yeah.
Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale defeated TBS champion Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Great. Your main card, Christian Cage defeated Dana Garcia to retain the TNT title. I really thought it was going to go the other way.
You thought it was. Okay.
Eddie Kingston defeated Bryan Danielson to retain the Continental Crown title. What a match.
That was great. It was fantastic.
Great match.
Can
Great match.
you take this?
Can I take what?
I need like 2 minutes.
Yeah, MG, you got this? MG, you there? No, he left too. You guys, both you guys. All right, I'm alone now. This is a big prank.
I'm locking you in.
I'm just going to do the rest of the card. Wardlow.
Sorry, I'm back. Sorry,
Andrew's gone.
Rich.
He had to rub some more cream on his junk.
Oh,
So we're going to do the rest of the card. All right, you ready, bud?
Run through it.
Wardlow defeated Powerhouse Hobbs, Chris Jericho, Lance Archer, Hook, Brian Cage, Magnus, and Dante Martin in an all-star scramble to win a shot at the AEW World title. So many words there and people. I thought that was a very well-deserved win from Wardlow. I want to see where that goes, you know? Also, I kind of feel like this should have been their Money in the Bank, maybe, but they can't do that, right?
Yeah, like a ladder match type thing. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, like not a
Yeah.
ladder match type thing, but the stipulation where like Wardlow has that championship. Like if they did it like an X Division title or like a Money in the Bank,
Yeah,
where it's
like-
like
yeah,
he can cash
I get
in whenever, you know, I think that would be kind of cool.
They have done that though. They did that. I feel like they did that last year at some point.
Roddy defeated Orange Cassidy to win the AEW International title.
Loved it.
Love that match. Good for Roddy. Roddy looks good with that belt.
Yeah.
Big fan of Roddy. And I hate to admit it, I'm coming around to the Undisputed Kingdom.
I hope they do something really good with them.
I hope he gets out of that wheelchair soon.
I hope he gets out of that wheelchair.
Mox and Claudio showing up as the Road Warriors, defeating FTR.
Very cool.
Very cool intro. Great
This was
match.
So awesome.
It was such an awesome match. Timeless Tony Storm defeated Deonna Purrazzo for the
Diane Pizzuzzio.
Diane Pizzuzzio. Fun match. Will Ospreay defeating Konosuke Takeshita.
Dude. Match of the year contender?
Nonstop, yeah. Very, very good. The upper card was fantastic. Samoa Joe defeated Hangman Page and Swerve to retain the AEW
Great
World
match.
title. Really good storytelling with Hangman. Like, where does he go? Does he become like this mega heel?
I don't know.
Is he all effed up that he can't deal with this? Is he still going to come after Swerve?
Everybody's
he's
a heel in
taking
this
time
company,
off.
though. They don't.
I do
Who
like
is their
that.
biggest babyface?
Oh, that's a good question.
They don't have
Right
any.
now, it's Will Ospreay. To me,
Yeah.
it's Will Ospreay.
Will, okay, but Will is not necessarily. You know what? Will is the babyface now.
Eddie?
And, is he a babyface?
Eddie.
Yeah. Eddie's
Is
a
he?
babyface.
Okay.
Danny Garcia?
Danny Garcia. Okay.
I kind of feel like they're pushing Jericho as a babyface at this point.
They're so top heavy with heels.
Mm-hmm. They really are.
Like, and they're all great at
Orange
it. But
Cassidy.
Orange is a babyface.
Mhm.
Yeah. Main event. Great match.
Oh, buddy.
Loved it. I loved it. I loved everything about it. Sting, remarkable career.
Mhm.
Darby sacrificed himself for this man. That glass spot was insane.
All the glass spots were nuts.
Everything. That entire match, nuts. I loved everything about it.
Mhm.
And what a great send off for Sting.
It was also cool to see Ric Flair and Steamboat get involved in a good way.
Yeah. They did it right.
They did it right.
They did it right.
Steamboat sold it like
dude,
nobody's business.
I'm down this rabbit hole of Ricky Steamboat.
So good.
And you know what's fascinating? Everybody, listen, Flair, great,
Mhm.
but Flair's style could be considered aged today.
Yes.
Right? Very by the book.
Yeah.
Just the best of the best. Ricky is still current.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Everything was so freaking intense. Like those arm drags that he would do.
I love those arm drags.
And the way he sells, where he bumps and there's parts of a move that normally you don't see people move.
Yeah.
Just, it's so really, just really awesome to see.
Still dynamic. Watch those old Steamboat matches. Even now, selling the way he did in that match, it was great. Flair didn't take too much attention away from it. He got double super kicked. Steamboat gets double super kicked. The Bucks yelling at Sting, "We're not sorry, we hate you."
Yeah.
With the double super kick. That was
and he
awesome.
no-sells it.
No-sold it. Great.
5,000 false finishes.
5,000 false finishes, which I was okay with. MG, you are arguably the biggest Sting fan I know. How did you feel about this?
I loved it. I called it with Andrew on the radio show. We were talking about this, and I said that. And I said flat out, I goes, he has to win this match. You can't do the usual go out on your back here. And it worked, and I loved every minute of it. I definitely the visual of Darby bleeding when they did that camera shot, and right after he went through that glass, and all of a sudden you saw all those little cuts, just the blood starting to go. I was like, oh my God, that was awesome.
It was gnarly.
Awesome it was gnarly in a good way, I think.
64-year-old guy.
For him though.
Sting
Didn't have to do this. Didn't have to climb a ladder and go through a table. Didn't have to go through glass. Didn't have to do half of the shit.
And you know what? Flair did not turn on him.
Flair did not turn on him.
He covered him
to
save him.
And then got super kicked.
And then he got super kicked.
I bet you Flair was like, I think I got one left in me.
I guarantee you probably thought that.
I got one left in me.
I could do this.
That's my Flair impression. I got one left in me.
All right.
Can you do your Flair impression?
Hey, am I in St. Louis? Remember he did that? Where was he? Do you remember that? But it was like all of Evolution.
Yeah.
He goes, big man, all you ate was steaks. Am I in St. Louis? I'm like, what was going on that night?
I cannot do a good Ric Flair. It just sounds
You know who does it? Deacon.
Oh, he does a good Flair?
He does like he does one of those.
Great match.
Yeah.
I wish the pay-per-view didn't cut off like right as Sting was going to do like a big speech.
Yeah, but you know what? I got to see it.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's on YouTube now.
Yeah, but that night.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Somebody in a panic sent me something.
What do you think of this?
Weird that they cut it off. I mean, I understand that some pay-per-view providers, but it's pay-per-view. What fucking difference does it make?
Exactly.
So they have a hard out at midnight. Is that what it is now?
I think so.
In the press conference after, Tony Khan said that Darby and Sting would relinquish the titles. As revealed on this past Wednesday, Darby says he's going to climb Mount Everest.
Yeah, and then he's going to the moon
legit
next year.
The legit Mount Everest.
Yeah.
And said, hey, man, if I die on that mountain, at least, I'm paraphrasing, at least I wrestled my last match with Sting.
You know what? That's great. Great.
What an unlikely combo that worked.
It really was. And it worked. It really was such a weird combination.
Is Darby a made guy at this point? Or no?
I think Darby's an established guy.
He needs a little more, right?
It's hard with his size.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think let's talk about that a little
He's an
bit.
obvious babyface too.
Yeah, of course.
I think they're doing their best with Swerve, but also in the babyface category, but Swerve's a little too still heelish, right?
Yeah, very.
Darby's a good babyface. he reminds me of Rey Mysterio in the way that he has that little thing that a lot of the smaller guys don't have.
He has that thing that a lot of the smaller guys don't have. Absolutely.
Yeah.
130%.
He's got that that world championship quality, Not to discount anybody else, like take a Vikingo for example.
Yeah.
Darby's got that that extra little oomph that separates him.
Yeah.
And you can see him doing a David Goliath for the world title. Like if you told me like the next pay-per-view main event is Samoa Joe and Darby Darby
you would
wins,
be into it. Yeah.
I'd be into it.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. Swerve Strickland, Dynamite, addresses Samoa Joe in the AEW Championship. Joe came out. Joe came out and said, we might be in Swerve's house, but you're in Joe's house. Joe's world.
Joe's house. But here,
Joe's world.
we might be
Sorry.
in your house, bro, but we're in my house. Who do you think you are? I am.
Who do you think you are? I am. Since they both were in their gear, Swerve challenged Joe for the title. Joe didn't take it. Undisputed Kingdom came out and challenged Joe and Swerve to a match against Matt Taven and Mike Bennett.
Great.
This was very WWE in presentation.
No, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. It was just fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
And then they beat Mike Bennett and Matt Taven.
Yeah. They destroyed him.
Yeah.
And those are the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Deceptively large guys.
Deceptively large, yeah. Hook. I feel bad for Matt Taven because Matt Taven had that unbelievable match.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago.
With Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. I thought that was great. I thought that's the best he's looked since coming here.
Oh, 100%.
Hook defeated Brian Cage to retain the FTW title. Jericho will come out and help Hook. So they have this friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them. Okay.
Hook's a babyface, right?
Hook's a babyface. Yeah.
Hook is like one of their top 5 babyfaces.
Hook's a good kid. Hook's a good kid. I have mutual friends with him.
Killswitch defeated Matt Menard after the match. Daniel Garcia tried to make the save. Adam Copeland cut off the patriarchy as they were trying to leave, suggesting an I Quit match for the TNT title in Toronto in 2
You know what?
weeks.
That'll move some tickets.
I think
But
so.
Edge has to get this title. It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time to move on.
What is Edge doing, though?
Right.
Like, what are we doing with him?
Shouldn't he be the top babyface in the company?
Shouldn't he be the top babyface in the company?
Yeah.
Listen, and I'm not, forget about the age thing, right? We're talking about notoriety, name recognition.
Wouldn't you like to see Samoa Joe versus Edge?
I want to see that. I want to see Will Ospreay and Edge.
Yeah.
What a wacky match.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Edge?
He's edging. He's edging
edging.
as we're talking.
Oh.
He's jelking.
Turning into Popeye.
Yeah. Oh my God, MG, put that away.
Put that spinach away.
Put that spinach away. Yeah. So this is gonna be the match. I Quit match in Toronto in 2 weeks. Cool. The Young Bucks shake up the Elite. They came out. They say Darby and Sting cheated with their, what did he call them? His giant sons.
Yeah.
He called them
6'7" son,
6'8" son. Yeah, dude, I got to tell you though. I hope that one of them is like a streamer on YouTube.
Mm.
Do you know that the surfer Sting? And he made like a video like talking about his experience. What a beautiful tribute to his father.
Really cool.
I hope this guy, and he gets like 4,000, 5,000 views a video. I hope now like people are really into him.
That's cool.
How old is that kid?
15. They're both 15.
They're both 15. Those are big boys.
Still growing.
Sting. Yeah, I don't know how old they are. Someone has to know.
One's 30. One's in his late 20s, I think, and the other's in his 30s, I believe.
He's in his early 30s and late 20s. Okay.
They could have a career as Son of Sting.
Son of Sting. They look great, though.
They do.
You know what? The tall one did a great job as being
Wolfpack Sting?
Wolfpack Sting, but that surface thing, that kid's got something.
So good.
Okay? His entire face. Have you ever watched that really deranged backstage video of Bash at the Beach 88?
Which one?
Behind the Bash?
Maybe.
Okay? So it's all the NWA guys. So Steve Williams is there.
This is the locker room one,
The
right?
locker
Yeah,
room
yeah,
one.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Road Warriors,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
A lot of big dudes.
Big dudes acting insane.
Yeah.
Okay? Insane. And there is one where like Sting is doing these like different level faces,
Mm-hmm.
and he looks just like the son.
Yeah.
And they're probably around the same age.
Yeah.
Wild to see. That video is very disturbing.
Yes.
You know what else I want to see? That Max Payne one that never came out.
Which one was that?
It was a European tour.
Uh-huh.
And there was so much naughty stuff on that tape. It never came out. It was like 1995, a European tour.
Do you think at one point WWE got a hold of all the bad tapes and put them in like a vault?
I'm willing to bet they have. I'm willing to bet there's been stuff that was going to come out. Oh, no. The answer is yes. Yes, they have.
The answer
Yeah.
that they have like a vault of like, great, we heard so-and-so went a little nuts on the road. And
And there's like a
recorded it.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah, there has to be. Has to be.
Imagine if there were like cell phones back then.
I don't think the business would exist.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. Sometimes I think about that. I feel like if there were cell phones back then or like easily recordable streaming technology, like the internet and a cell phone, right, would destroy the wrestling business in the 80s.
I think
Even the 70s.
Sean Oliver exposed a lot of the insanity with his shoot videos.
Yeah.
One of the most talented interviewers ever.
Yeah, guy's great.
I'm a big fan of Sean's. He does that show with Kevin Nash now. But Sean, for years he would do those U shoots and he would do Timeline. That Timeline series was great where he would have someone come and talk about the entire year.
That was fantastic.
I think Brett did like 92. It was, just really cool to see these guys just like talk about this stuff. But so much of like the ECW guys, like those stories of things that would happen and do is so insane. You're just like, okay, they're guys, they're boys. This is what they're doing.
Well, the interesting thing about ECW, I always thought, was we as fans that it hit in the right time for us.
Had no business getting big.
Well, I think that's the thing. Like we thought it was bigger than it really was, where the reality was these guys had day jobs.
A lot of them, yeah.
A lot of them had day jobs. There wasn't like any kind of HR or corporate structure, right?
The 90s.
So these guys went absolutely apeshit backstage. They were just dudes, like construction workers being like gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was
totally.
Sandman like a contractor?
Sandman was no, he was an insurance broker.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was he a general practitioner?
He was a general anesthesiologist.
But like we thought it's show business, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is like, these guys had day jobs. A lot of this stuff was done, very hands-on for like by a select few.
Yeah.
So of course there's probably like footage out there of like something.
Yeah.
Dudes being dudes.
Dudes being dudes.
So yeah, take it. This is Young Bucks cutting that promo.
Young Bucks cutting that promo. They cut that promo. Let me find where we were. Okay. They say that they cheated and they're entering into that tournament. They kept talking about how they're EVPs. They announced that as EVPs, they would have to suspend Hangman Page from the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
They also fired Kenny Omega for not making dates.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Kingston comes out to confront them. Then the coin drops.
So good.
Okada makes his official AEW debut by attacking Eddie Kingston with a Rainmaker. It was a little wonky, though, how they did that.
Kind of looked like he hugged him a little bit.
It kind of looked like he hugged him a little bit. And he officially joins the Elite. You know what? It makes all the sense in the world, doesn't it?
So good.
Whether or not you want him to be paired with them and how long this lasts, Okada is a heel.
Yeah, great. Love it. Great setup.
It's a different dynamic now. All those matches we had over in Japan, now you're flipping it, and he's the heel instead of the babyface.
Yeah, and he's going to wrestle a very different style.
Yep.
So maybe this is something that he's always wanted to do, and I'm willing to bet it is.
Yeah.
This guy's made his career as being the greatest professional wrestler of this time frame. At any time frame, he's up there, right? As far as a pure pro wrestler. He's always worked the babyface style.
Yep.
Let's try it.
And like whenever he did the heel, it was very short term.
And it's easier to work that style in America.
Yes.
Like, he's not a guy that wrestles weekly on TV. It's not a thing for him, and I'm sure he's not going to be doing a ton of 6-man, tags in Japan when they fill it in. So this is a good way to change his style a little bit, keep him a little bit healthier, and then he turns it up for the pay-per-views. Great. Fine.
You're also going to get a good chunk of trios matches out of this, probably.
I'm sure. Eddie Kingston. So Kingston gets hit with the Rainmaker. So it looks like this is the match for that pay-per-view.
Very excited.
What a interesting dynamic this pay-per-view is going to have between Will Ospreay, we'll talk about his match in a couple seconds, and this match. All right, cool.
Okada's definitely taking that title from him.
Rio defeated Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
Darby Allin and Switchblade Jay White face off before Big Business. That's the match.
Cool.
Will Ospreay defeated ROH TV champion Kyle Fletcher. Was this considered the best TV match that AEW's ever put on? Quite arguably, yes.
Really phenomenal match. I loved the ending.
Where Danielson came out.
Showing the camaraderie between Fletcher and Ospreay, and then Fletcher being like, hey, you got trouble. And it's Danielson. Danielson and Ospreay. Wow.
Danielson Ospreay looks like that's going to be at Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
That pay-per-view looks really good.
What a great roster.
I know. It really is. AEW Dynamite, AEW Rampage last night. Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta defeated Kip Sabian. I was going to call him Skip Williams. Kip Sabian and the Butcher with Blade. Julia Hart defeated Robin Renegade for the TBS Championship. Penta defeated Action Andretti. Top Flight defeated Commander and Brian Keith.
Great.
In a three-way, which also included Private Party. Collision tonight. Mark Briscoe, Jay Briscoe, Jeff Jarrett versus the House of Black in an Atlanta street fight.
Jay Lethal.
What did I say?
Jay Briscoe.
Jay Lethal. I'm sorry. House of Black in an Atlanta street fight. Did we get a little Michael Hayes reference?
Sure.
Bad Street. It's a bad street fight. Chris Jericho versus Teton.
Mm-hmm.
Mariah May in action. The debut of the Elite and Bryan Danielson and Shane Taylor. Weird pairing. I'm into that.
Yeah.
I want to see that. AEW Big Business.
Big Business.
Samoa Joe defends the AEW World title against Wardlow. Switchblade Jay White versus Darby Allin. Willow Nightingale with Stokely Hathaway versus Rio. And Mercedes Moné debuting.
$.
Listen, I think they're going to sell a few more tickets for this.
Yeah.
I thought Dynamite was great. However, very low in the viewership.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that. This pay-per-view that's coming up at the end of April looks to be another banger. You know, I'm going to set the bar, okay?
Okay.
I've been thinking about this, and I really want the chat room also to kind of give me their thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Was that last pay-per-view that we watched, Revolution, the best AEW pay-per-view? Now, I have a tremendous bias here. So does MG, and so does Rich.
Yeah.
We were at All Out 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Which was fantastic.
But what matches did happen on that show? Okay, that you can remember right now. You had the cage match between Penta and Ray Phoenix against the Bucks, right? You had CM Punk Darby Allin.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't tell you.
I think we had Christian and Kenny Omega, right?
No, that was that at that show?
I think.
Okay.
Christian, yeah, that was the main event.
Christian Kenny was the main event.
And then we got the two debuts.
Right.
And those was what we remember the most.
Okay.
Really.
I don't remember, and that's what I remember the most.
Yeah.
Was this a
Miro
better
and Eddie
pay-per-view
Kingston
than that?
Was there in there?
I like the Wembley show.
I don't think the Wembley show was their best show. I thought it was a very good show.
Okay.
I don't think it was their best. I think it was more of a hoopla. The spectacle of being in a giant stadium made that show a little bit better. But
that's a good
like
question.
for me, All Out was a great. It is probably the best wrestling show I've been to.
Okay.
Right. I've been to WrestleMania 10. Been to WrestleMania 20.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to all that freaking SummerSlams that they had here in the 90s and the 2000s. ECW One Night Stand I was at, which you know what? Maybe that was emotionally the best show I've ever been to.
Does the fact that Sting's last match went on without a hitch add to the fact that this may have been their best pay-per-view?
I think so. I think so. I don't know. I don't know what the like. I don't. I think the overall ratings, right? Like the cage rating. Can you look that up, MG? What like people rated? Because I think they probably rated this one higher. This had, I mean, that Will Ospreay Takeshita match was really one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Yes,
I was so invested in that match.
Mm-hmm.
But I was invested into a lot of stuff. The Eddie Kingston match with Danielson was also another one. I thought it was a great show. I don't know if it's the greatest pay-per-view they've done.
It's tough. That's tough because this AEW is different than year 1, year 2 AEW, right? If you think about it.
This is closer to year 1 AEW than anything else.
You think so? I feel like it's vastly different because
well, look at the top. Look at the top now. The Bucks are back in top.
Okay.
Hangman is back in top.
Okay.
Kenny's out, but they got Okada.
Mm-hmm.
Will Ospreay, amazing in ring. They've gone back to Takeshita. They've gone back to the in-ring quality, but they are injecting storyline now.
I do think, as far as in-ring, this may have been their best.
As far as in-ring, yeah.
I think this may have been their best pay-per-view.
But they always have bangers. It's rare to have a bad AEW pay-per-view.
It is true.
I think Forbidden Door is going to be bonkers.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe we're getting that here.
I'm very excited.
Okay, and when they told me when they told me that it was here, and they're like, "Listen, we're gonna throw you a bone here, okay? It's in your backyard." And I'm like, "Bayside? We're putting a ring back there? I can't. I got to use the Dulligan yard. I don't have enough room here." I'm like, I got a 50 by 100 lot. I got the Queen's special. But I don't know. But this card is looking to be freaking great.
Yeah.
And we're getting Danielson and Will Ospreay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Oh. Okada, Eddie Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks for the title, I'm sure. Tag titles and whatever else they do. Mercedes is obviously going to be on this. Who's Mercedes? Mercedes Serena Deebs?
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
Joe, go back to your cage
Joe and
Swerve, maybe?
Joe and Hangman.
Yeah.
I do know what I actually I'm not even going to talk about it. I want people to be happy. People got upset about the logo unveil.
Oh no.
You spoiled it.
You
they
ruined
changed the fucking colors. How dare I?
You ruined me, Andrew Zarian.
All right. Let's go. Q&A time, boys and girls.
Real quick, you want to ask for the cage match ratings on those shows. 9.54 for All Out 2021 and 9.40 for Revolution.
All right.
You know what? That's
very
a
close.
split.
Yeah.
That's
very
a
subjective.
Split. Yeah, very subjective. That's a split right down the middle. I'll say they were both memorable shows.
Yes.
Tremendous.
100%.
Yeah.
Guys,
submit your questions. Super chat us. We do the show for free. No ads.
No ads.
Not because we will not put ads. Sometimes we just don't. We get lazy. And by we, I mean I. And I don't sell the show. But I got to pay MG, don't I?
Yeah.
You know all he eats? Saltine crackers.
Yeah, it explains a lot.
Really?
That's all he eats.
He's very dehydrated.
You go into his cabin. He lives, he does live in a cabin, like Ted Kaczynski. And it's just rations of saltine crackers.
Sorry about your loss, by the way, MG.
He just lives a Ted Kaczynski life. Unabomber motherfucker. Sorry. I love him. I really do. People think like
the difference. MG's manifesto was wildly misspelled.
His manifesto was backwards and upside down.
It says manifesto.
Manifesto. And it's just recipes. Manifesto. One man survival for Italian cuisine in the forest.
They'll revolutionize this pesto sauce recipe.
I grow my own basil and my wheat, and I mail it to people.
Are you a pesto fan?
I do grow my own basil. I do.
Told you.
I do.
Of course
Told
he
you.
does.
Told you. He's on that list. They're coming.
In his armpits.
Am I
a pesto fan?
I like pesto.
I'm not.
And
It depends. I love like a maple pesto, like a press.
Okay.
We keep talking
like
about
a
that.
spread.
I'm back on a press kick, by the way.
I missed the days where we would do the show on Thursday.
Just fucking go there at 11 o'clock and drink till like 6:30.
It was the best. It was the
so
best.
good.
It was the best. It was the best.
So good. I don't know for them, but for us, it was the best.
Yeah. No, for them too. They loved it.
Somebody got loaded at that party.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday.
Like how loaded?
So loaded that they said that they would sleep with intern Deacon.
Was it a lady or a gentleman?
It was a gentleman.
Yeah.
And he's like,
he's single, right?
Deacon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He should go for it.
He goes, I told him he looks so handsome with that hair.
There you go.
And it's not Phil. You would imagine Phil would be the one. It wasn't Phil.
I don't think Deacon's Phil's type.
No.
Yeah.
No, not Phil's type. He was there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, Glassdoor Gamer. Any news on AEW's new COO's live event strategy?
That's a great question. I have no insight on that.
Great.
I could ask for sure. That's actually an easy question.
Yeah. This is from Samuel. Here am I. How would y'all feel about a fully filmed wrestling show with supernatural and special effects? I'd love it. I'd like that.
Like the Hardy stuff?
Like the Hardy stuff or like Undertaker's last match. There was a little bit of a supernatural element.
A little bit of I like what they did in the pandemic with those.
Yeah.
I think there is a place, right? Like why can't the Undertaker have a match like that?
We don't really have supernatural guys, right? Is Penta the closest supernatural guy we got now?
Penta's a supernatural guy. Abaddon, supernatural.
Okay.
WWE, any supernaturals? Well, we had
House of
Bray
Black would be considered.
House
right?
of Black, yeah, they're spooky.
They're spooky, but they don't do like
They don't have the power of mysticism. Or
Well, they do.
whatever
They
the hell.
reappear, right? They turn the lights off and they randomly appear. And then
Yeah, but you need like floating or like electricity or some shit like that or
So
fire.
are we talking like a Lucha Underground? Because I thought Lucha Underground was great.
Yeah. Hated that arena.
You didn't like
I liked the show. I enjoyed the matches. I just didn't like, what was it called?
the Aztec something?
Wherever it was. I
Whatever
just
it was.
didn't like it.
It was a warehouse, right? And
Yeah.
like somewhere in.
I was okay with it. I don't know. I didn't really get super into it.
Okay.
I didn't get super. The temple.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Aztec Temple. Or whatever.
And they changed the building though, right? One year. Like
I think so.
the last couple, it was different. Yeah.
It was the same arena. They had to rebuild it though.
Oh, is that what it was?
It was
Okay.
the same space.
What
yeah.
an interesting like time right there, right? Because that's where all the indie guys went before AEW.
And-
Ricochet,
Yeah.
like a bunch of the Brian Cage.
Penta.
Yeah, Penta.
Yeah. Willie
Um,
Mack.
But listen, like,
Marty DeMoth.
what was that? Was it Vampiro's last match? That was like absolutely bonkers. Was it Vampiro and Penta?
Conan. Wasn't it Conan? Didn't Conan also wrestle?
No, it was. He's right.
It was Vampiro and Penta?
like a super bloody match.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is from Ron Jones. My dudes, I'm coming off such a high this week. I went to Revolution, awesome show, plus Dynamite and Collision. Thanks,
Wow.
Ron. Thanks
He's
for letting us
full.
know.
He's full.
He's full. It's very high. Paul Anthony Moss. Based on history, Owen Hart Cup should be starting in the near future. Which wrestlers would you book to win or would benefit most from being showcased in it? Danny Garcia should be in it.
Yeah.
I think you should do like your more technical guys. Or like a guy like Action Andretti, Danny Garcia.
So the first one, Britt Baker and Adam Cole won.
Mm,
The second one, Willow and Ricky Starks won.
okay.
Didn't mean much now, did it?
Right.
Why? Well, look at how the men's bracket worked.
Mhm.
CM Punk, Kojima was the first one.
Yeah.
That was bonkers. Samoa Joe, Roddy Strong. Dustin Rhodes, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Juice Robinson. Next round, CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky, and it became CM Punk and Ricky Starks.
I remember being really excited about that one. It was
And
good.
it went and it did nothing.
Yeah. Like you need the follow through, right? Because it's like that was like a big deal when it happened and it's fun, but you need that big follow through. You know what's very interesting is I found the Continental Classic more memorable.
Big
Than
time.
that,
Yeah,
you
big
know?
time.
Uh,
Big time.
let's see. This is another one from Ron Jones. Sting's retirement. Will Ospreay twice and Okada.
Hang on, let's go back. We never mentioned who would benefit from it.
Danny Garcia,
Okay.
Action Andretti.
Okay. Give me like a couple more.
I'd put Starks back in.
Okay.
I feel like he needs something. You know who I would like to see win?
Who?
Dax.
Dax, you know what? That's a great one. Dax.
That's a great
How about the
call.
final? It's Dax and
Dax and Cash?
Yeah.
Why not?
why not?
Mhm.
It's a very meaningful match.
Big hug fest at the end.
Yeah.
They split it.
Yeah, I'm into that. They split it. They walk around with it.
Mm-hmm. Ron Jones, Sting's retirement, Ospreay twice, and Okada. It was sad going from the sellout on Sunday to the showing in Atlanta. Where is the marketing and promotion? Yeah, we mentioned that.
Can you pull it up? I can't see it.
Oh, hang on a second. Should have done that. Yeah, there we go. Where's the marketing? We were talking about that before. Where was the marketing for Okada?
My theory here is that this company got very reliant on a very dedicated audience that was traveling to a lot of these shows. So, yeah, there was a dip certain times, but it didn't feel like this.
Yeah.
They also were doing only one show a week and not two.
Right.
You know, so you now have double the work. You're less hot, and you're not countering it.
Right. They spent all their marketing money on Okada himself.
They spent, yeah, I guess so. I think they gotta announce some of this stuff. Like, I love the surprise element. I think that's great. But you do that when you already have a sold out building.
Exactly.
Because then you're adding, well, anything could happen, but we're still hot. When you're not, like, listen, I think if they announce Okada is joining AEW, it's going to rain or whatever they did, they could have sold way more tickets.
I think so.
You're diminishing your return here. You only get to do this once, these mega returns.
Yeah. Debuts, returns, etc.
Yeah.
This is from Amir. Any idea on what the card for Forbidden Door is looking like? That's a great question because they got it. They got 2 of your Forbidden Doors in Ospreay and Okada.
They already have them. I know that there's going to be CMLL built in, but now I don't know because of the visa issues. So we'll see what happens there.
Probably another Zack Sabre, maybe a Tanahashi, the CMLL guys, right?
Yeah.
Again, I'm saying Cody. Real Forbidden Door.
And you know what's interesting? CMLL airs here in New York.
Yeah.
It airs in the States. AAA doesn't. You know that.
Interesting.
Okay. I think it's a great market. If they incorporate CMLL wrestlers, that building could... The makeup of that building could be very different.
Yeah.
Considering where we live.
Oh, 100%.
Okay?
Yeah,
considering Queens and where we live, that makeup of that building could be very different. And, and I'm curious to see how much CMLL is injected in. I'm not saying in a negative whatsoever.
Right.
I think it's interesting to look at that because if there was ever a market to do a lot of CMLL, it would most likely be Queens.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. So I'm curious to see if they do any local marketing here, how they do this. I don't know what this card is going to look like. They have all the top guys now. So how do you change Forbidden Door?
Impact, maybe.
Maybe. You could do that.
Let's see. This is another one from Amir. Do you see AEW making plays for any other free agents this year? Word is Drew, Seth, Becky, Sheamus, Owens, and Sammy all have deals up. Owens and Sammy re-signed last year, I believe, to semi-long-term contracts.
Yeah, I thought they re-signed. Drew, I can't see him leaving at this point.
No.
I don't see Seth leaving. I don't see Becky leaving.
Not at all.
Sheamus, I don't know, maybe, but I don't either.
Put Sheamus in New Japan for like 6 months.
I want to see that. I want to see.
Yeah. Put Sheamus in the G1.
Maybe, what if you get Nick Nemeth on this Forbidden Door?
Oh, I just had an idea. Is it possible at all? Because we don't have the dates for Forbidden Door, right?
I believe I have my own date. I have not been told a date. Nobody's telling me a date. I think the 23rd would be the best day for it, but I don't have June. Yeah, I don't have a set date. I haven't. I've been so busy. I haven't even reached out.
It would be dope. Again, this is if New Japan can make these plans change. It would be dope if they somehow advanced the G1 from August to June, and you had a couple of G1 matches on that Forbidden Door.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
that would be really dope. Because then you could have some like Eddie Kingston wrestling like Ishii or something.
What's a Mercedes Forbidden Door match for that show?
That's a good question.
Right? Can you do Julia?
Well, Julia's WWE bound, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
And she did say she wants to have that match. Could you do that?
Possibly, right?
Is she still going to be around?
I don't know. I don't know. There are
is supposedly up.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. June's a long way. A lot could change.
This is from Ali Khan. How do you feel the large contracts Tony is giving to free agents such as Okada will affect WWE when they come to their talent contracts?
It's great for talent.
Yeah.
Because now you've move that bar up a little bit more. And I'm always for the talent getting paid more. I don't know if it was a financial thing for Okada. He didn't really make it seem to be a financial thing. He made it seem to be who he wants to work with.
Right. I feel like he was on top. He left on top babyface that company's had in like God knows how many years, right? He probably got that offer from WWE, and they were like, "Yeah, we need you to travel. We need you to do X, Y, and Z. You got to blah 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 blah."
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
WWE, like those appearances and just. You got to go do this meet and greet. You got to go on this show. You got to now speak to this media. Now you got to do this, and you got that. It's a lot of moving parts.
Makes you want to hand it to Cody also.
Yeah.
Just like a little bit, right?
Yeah.
For him to come back to that from having like such a relaxed schedule. And that guy does all the media.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good for talent. This is another one from Ali Khan. I travel for most AEW Dynamites, and it's frustrating that Tony doesn't have most of the card out a week out. This week, one match was announced.
And one match was announced, and you know what? You didn't make it must-see TV.
Right.
Because of the ratings. Did they rest on the fact that it's a big show after a pay-per-view? Maybe a little.
Sure.
But, man, I want to know what I'm walking into. I want to know what I'm going to watch. And I want to know for a while, and I want to get hyped for it. Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, great.
Yeah.
Tell me something else.
Right.
All you had to do was say there is a huge announcement, a new acquisition. Let people think it's Mercedes.
Exactly.
You could have even done that. You could have been a little bit more for. There's so many different avenues, and I'm sure that people pitch these things, and there's a reason why they didn't.
Right.
Or they think it's not a good idea. I'm not in those. I don't hear those conversations. I have no clue.
Yeah.
But I can only tell you my background in marketing and in sales and in public relations, and I could only go based on things that I think work. Leaving Okada and not even hinting at Okada, I don't know. To me, it felt that you missed out on an opportunity. Not that it turned out bad. You just missed out on more.
You think they blew it?
No, I don't think they blew it at all. I just think, your numbers were low. You were under 800,000 for your viewership. For a pay-per-view right after. You didn't tell me to turn this on. You didn't tell me I need to show up.
Right.
When you have 7, 8, 9,000 people in that building, yeah, I understand. You could do that. You could say, well, you know what? This is fine. We're gonna surprise everybody because it's the element of surprise. But you're doing 2,000, 3,000 people in some markets.
Yeah.
You don't want the element of surprise. You want the element.
Exactly.
You want to know what's happening. I don't know. That's my rant. Sorry.
The next one's from Comic Book Guy. Attendance is one thing, but even the TV has steadily been declining.
Yeah, that's what...
Feels like no matter what they do, they'll continue getting 700 to 875,000.
And by the way, that is not a bad rating.
No,
that's not a bad viewership. I people need to stop looking at wrestling like it's 1999.
Exactly.
They got to stop looking at cable like it was whatever it was. Shows on cable do terrible. 700,000 viewers for a wrestling show on a Wednesday night is success.
Yeah.
Is it the success that we want for them? No, that's the problem. They should be getting 800,000, 900,000. I think a very healthy number is like 850 to 950. Did the numbers kill you?
No, I was just thinking that AEW needs to make Judge Judy a manager.
Oh yeah,
The authority figure.
The authority figure is Judge Judy.
The highest paid woman ever on television.
Judge Judy.
She would bring in the numbers.
You know what? She did bring in a lot of numbers for a long time. I get it. I listen. I agree with you.
Stunt celebrity GMs.
Ooh, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Bob Barker, remember he was a GM.
Bob Barker. But did that help or hurt Raw? Like, was it like a gitchy thing? Like, imagine if AEW went that route. Who would they put on TV?
Yeah,
Tyson. They have a relationship with Tyson.
They do,
right? But
as like a guest GM. Oh, who could be a great guest GM for them?
Well, who's on
Charles Barkley?
Oh, I would love that.
Terrible.
Isn't he in charge of Warner Bros. Discovery now?
He is in charge of Warner Brothers. Listen, and also here's the other thing: cable's declining by 5%.
Yeah,
and you're not going to get those same cable ratings, and it doesn't really matter as much. And this is something that a lot of people are looking at: is having your product on linear and also having it simulcasted on digital.
Okay.
More of an opportunity. We'll see what happens.
Here's a good question. I don't have an answer for it, but I have a fun match. This is from Kevin Craig. What could be the main event for Forbidden Door 3, especially within a week of New Japan?
What could be a fun main event? Okada, Ospreay. That could be one.
Okada, Ospreay, Jay White.
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
you could
there
run
you
an old New Japan match.
Naito.
Naito.
There's no, not particularly.
You know what? Naito, Okada.
Great. Love it.
You love it. You know what? It's happened before, but not in AEW.
Tanahashi, Adam Cole.
Tanahashi, Adam Cole.
You know, not a main event match. I mean, a main event match for sure, but not main eventing that card. But I would love to see Danielson. I just lost his name. He was on our show, friend of the show.
Rocky Romero?
No, Danielson.
Billy Corgan?
Josh Alexander.
Josh Alexander. That's another. I thought Billy.
Wouldn't Danielson Alexander be such a great match?
I'd be into that tremendously. Mystico Okada.
Mystico Okada. Awesome.
Into it.
Awesome. Maybe the Forbidden Doors is
someone
at
in their
NWA
chat.
also.
Someone in the chat is mentioning Jack Perry wrestling for New Japan at Forbidden Door. Which
Oh, you know what? You could do that.
That'd be cool.
They put him in a weird stable.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Yeah.
This is from friend of the show, Shin Sergeant Solidus. Question: do you think Powerhouse Hobbs would do better outside of AEW? He's kind of just a guy in AEW.
I mean, they're interested in him because of his size. He's tremendous. I think WWE would have a better presentation for him.
100%.
You know,
King of NXT,
oh my God, he'd be great in NXT.
and then moves to the main roster.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Brian Knight, will WWE split the tag titles at Mania?
I know that I don't know if they made the new titles or they were making the new titles, but there was a lot of talk that those titles are getting an update. I don't know if they're splitting it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have enough tag teams?
Healthy
They
tag
had
teams?
another. I think they do. They had another
Yeah.
mention last night.
What do they say?
In a segment with Pete Dunne and what's his
Tyler Bate.
partner's name? Yeah, Tyler Bate. They had a segment where they were talking about we got to find. I'm going to ask again about the tag titles for WrestleMania. So I'm guessing we're going to get an announcement on that in the next week or two.
Dude, it's amazing. NXT 2015, 2016 is back. 2016 is back.
Love it.
Tyler Bate,
Mm-hmm.
Pete Dunne is a tag team. DIY back as a tag team. AOP back as a tag team. Bring War Machine when they're
Awesome,
healthy.
yeah.
War Raiders. All right. What else do we have?
This is from Amir, another super chat. Naito versus Adam Copeland. Mercedes winning the either IWGP or Strong Belt from
Cool.
Mayu or Julia. I like that.
I like
you know
that
what? You know what would be a great, not even if it's a Forbidden Door match that's headlining a pay-per-view, Adam Copeland versus Okada.
Copeland Okada.
That would be
Copeland
great.
Tanahashi.
Copeland Tanahashi would be dope.
Yeah, I'm into that actually.
Copeland versus any of the New Japan guys. Did you enjoy his Suzuki match?
I loved it. I like wacky matchups. That's the great thing about wrestling.
Brian Knight says Jack Perry versus Tony Khan.
Jack Perry versus Tony Khan. Glass match.
Kojima versus Danielson, Forbidden Door 3.
Okay, I'll take that.
Let's see. Let's do a couple more questions, guys. Shoot us some more questions, and we're gonna get out of here like 12:30.
Yeah.
Kevin Craig, are Swerve and Mercedes winning their titles at Dynasty?
Very good question. Sorry, I dropped my pen. That doesn't mean anything.
Does Mercedes debut that big where she
I
gets
don't-
a belt?
I don't think you should do that yet with Mercedes. I
Yeah.
think you need to do. But for Swerve, listen, I think for
is
Swerve,
there. Yeah.
there's a moment, right? There's a moment for him. Will that moment be there in 4 weeks
Right.
or whatever, 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
I don't know,
In terms,
but I hope so.
yeah, same here. In terms of hype, is Mercedes the most hyped performer for a debut at this point. Like I can't remember anybody. Punk. Okay. So Punk, what was that, 3 years ago?
3 years ago.
Punk coming back?
Yeah.
And then like now it's Mercedes.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Brian Knight, is SmackDown getting kicked to FS1 for September?
Why? Well, why would they get kicked for September?
Yeah, let's do a follow-up on that.
No, I'm curious.
Why,
Is there? Well, the SmackDown went. Well, Raw's the issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Raw the problem?
It's not SmackDown.
It's not SmackDown.
Is I think obligated till the end of the year. I do believe.
Oh, college football.
There we go.
For college football.
There's so they are doing Friday night games now. So
yeah.
I don't know.
So I don't know. That's great. Yeah, that's a good question.
It is a good question.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that more. I'm the sports guy.
Yeah, I got to look into that too.
You're the resident sports guy.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
MG Geek, our resident sports guy.
You know what he looks like? MG's turning into like a Southern wrestling journeyman.
Put him on camera. Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, definitely. You're a carny. You're definitely a carny journeyman.
Yeah. He's asking for rides to the next town.
Mm-hmm. I'll make it worth your while.
I'll make it worth your while.
I'll make it worth your while.
He looks like a favorite of Jim Cornette's.
I'll take it, Shin. I'll take it. Jesus.
I want MG with the long hair. This is my pitch.
Yeah.
And I want you to do it, MG. At some point within the next few weeks, I want you to start doing Shawn Michaels hairstyles. Because your hair is so long at this point.
Oh, yeah. Do the little bun.
Do the bun with the hair down.
Yeah.
And then
high up and down.
Up and down.
Right,
oh, that is what he does have.
And then just
start. Back, it's in the back. It's not high up.
I want you to start kind of dressing like Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, in chaps, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, tights.
And
then like a mirror. Like those,
the
mirror
vest. Yeah. He needs
the mirror vest.
Next time I see you, I want you to dress like Shawn Michaels. I would love that so much.
I'm into that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Just like we go to a show together, and then it's us dressed normally. And then
he's just Shawn Michaels?
He's just Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I love it. So into it.
I would love that. This is from Trust the Process. If Punk never got hurt and Rock still wanted to wrestle, do you think we still get the tag match? No. Punk would have taken Seth's spot.
No. It would have been Seth and Punk. And I don't think we would have gotten a night one. Yeah, I honestly, I don't know what they would have done. There would have been no tag match for sure. I think everything kind of got turned upside down here. I don't know.
It's wacky. It's like,
because remember, it would have taken away from Punk that night one. If they had that tag match at all. So would the match still have been Dwayne and Roman?
Right.
I don't know.
Topsy turvy, man.
Topsy turvy. CM Punk disruptive. Broke everything.
Needle mover. Paul Anthony Moss asks, Jay White's promo work really ramped up this past week. If Cope beats Cage, would you have him feud or drop the belt to White? Cope and White feels like they both need a good new feud. Yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
I like that.
I like that a lot. I think Copeland dropping it to Jay White eventually, and Jay White getting that title would be interesting.
I think that would elevate it too. Because you need some fresh blood on that title.
Yeah.
Right? Like, as much as I love Christian and all the stuff that he's doing,
Christian elevated that title for sure.
Absolutely. I think Edge needs it for a little bit, drop it to Jay White, and then have them go back to what it used to be. Like guys like Ricky Starks, like that worker title, right?
Yeah.
Brian Knight, Paul Atreides, babyface or heel? Paul Atreides is not a good guy. From Dune. Sorry to mention Dune.
Too much. Oh. Worms.
This is from Hassan. Can AEW hold off on crowning Ospreay until Wembley? He's so over now. Does Ospreay get the belt?
I don't know.
I
don't know. What happens with MJF when he comes back?
Very interesting. It's going to be a different landscape.
He's walking into a whole different landscape because remember, he was the man.
Yeah.
Right? He leaves. Okada's here. Ospreay's here. The whole Swerve is being, presented in that top contender. Everything changed.
I think they're holding off until Cole gets healthy, right?
I don't. Yeah. What for MJF?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's a match at All In.
Yeah. Do you want to do one last question?
Yeah.
This is a super chat here.
Yeah.
This is from Amir. If Hangman had stayed healthy, do you think the next pay-per-view would have been another Hangman Swerve match?
No.
Mm-mm.
If Hangman had stayed, Hangman is healthy.
Oh, he said he misspoke. He left because of a personal issue, not health.
No. I think they would have stuck to what they are doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say they wanted to do. I know for a fact they wanted to do MJF, Hangman, and Swerve at one point, right? And the plan was always for Joe to win the title.
Yeah.
So they had this planned out. So it's not like, he was leaving and that's why Joe got the belt. I just think that they shifted the timeline, and I think the story really is going to be when one of them, Hangman or Swerve, gets the title. And the feud in between. They have created like a real big blood feud between the two, which is fantastic.
But they did it. They do a good push and pull with them.
They do a good push and pull with them. I think this is. I think the program is going to end up being Hangman and Swerve.
Absolutely.
Throughout the summer. I think that'll be the next big program to some extent.
Are Hangman and Swerve the AEW version of Shawn Michaels and Brett?
I wonder. I was thinking that too because I really enjoy their chemistry. It's really cool to see.
Yeah,
and
intense. It's very realistic
intense.
Feud. Yeah,
very realistic and intense. I want to see more,
and
that's good.
Yeah.
You want to see more.
This is one last super chat. Have you heard consideration on AEW's hard brand split?
That went out the window when Punk left.
Yeah,
that was really it. It was a. First, it was no split. Then it was a very hard split. Then it's like, nah, it's a soft split, and they did split it.
Yeah,
you had 2 titles on that show. You one title here, one title there, and you had people assigned to different shows. I don't think it's a good idea to have a split like that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think your top talent needs to be on both shows, and everybody else kind of interchanges.
Yeah,
or you could have. I mean, that could be the hard split, right?
Yeah.
Like a Brian Keith. You know that Brian Keith is on Collision, and that's what you're going to watch Brian Keith. But the top guys need to go everywhere.
Absolutely. But we've said that about Raw and SmackDown too.
Yeah.
Like it's you have to have your top.
It's guys. Not fair to Daniel. I'm throwing Daniel Garcia. It's not fair to a Daniel Garcia, right? That's on Collision, for example, and I'm just using a name. And you don't get Okada. You don't get Mercedes.
Right.
That hurts the other guys. That's why it's important to have your top tier guys going everywhere if you can, especially when your numbers aren't great.
Right.
If you're selling out every stadium, 10,000 seats and you're getting over 1 million views, fine, split it.
Different story.
We
got another super chat.
Yeah, let's do it. As long as super chats are coming, I'll continue.
Yeah, based on the promo on Dynamite, I thought they were setting the stage for a Hangman Okada feud until Kenny came back? ?
You know what? That's great.
I'd love it.
I felt like they set up at least 4 or 5 feuds for him.
Yeah.
So
they set up Danielson. No, I'm sorry. They set up Kingston. They set up Kenny.
Yeah.
And they set up Hangman.
Yeah. But also because of how that Okada debut worked, you can set him up with anybody.
Yeah.
Is he the authority?
Give me 5 matches that you want to see him work that he's never worked.
Adam Copeland?
Yes.
I don't think he's had a Moxley one-on-one.
I don't know.
No, he has not.
He has not. Okay, great. Okay, into that. Kingston's one that I'm really into.
Here's a weird one.
Yeah.
Christian.
And I thought that too.
Mm-hmm.
How would the styles go? Because Christian is so methodical with his style, and Edge is impactful.
Yeah.
I can't call that man by
Adam Edge
by his government name.
Yeah. Call him the Cope Man.
The Cope Man. Okada Claudio, that's another one.
And here's another interesting one that I don't think we've ever seen before. What? Okada Swerve.
Yeah.
That match will happen.
And Okada Mojo.
They also have a story coming out of Revolution, Darby and Okada.
They didn't wrestle? They didn't have like some kind of tag thing?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Sorry, popped into my head. Forbidden Door match. Nick Nemeth versus anybody.
You know what? That's what I said. Nick Nemeth.
Yeah.
Bring him in.
Nick Nemeth, bring him in. Have him defend that belt against somebody.
I'm into that. I'm very into that. He's in New Japan, right? He's a New Japan guy.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he defend that? What is it? The Global Championship? What do they call it?
Something like. No, didn't he get the U.S. title?
No. The
Okay.
Global.
They changed the name. They changed the name of it.
Okay.
It's called the Global.
But it's the same belt, right?
Andrew's right. It's the lineage of the same
The
belt.
lineage
It's the
of the
same belt. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Let's do a couple more.
Shibata versus Okada or Takeshita versus Okada.
Cool.
Okada versus Kyle Fletcher. Great. Pro Wrestling Joe, do you know what kind of non-in-ring show AEW WBD are working on?
Yes.
Will it air on TBS, TNT, or Max?
Yes.
All right.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes. You know it.
I
You know about it.
I know that WBD has always been interested in more out of the ring content.
Yeah.
One of the pieces that I've heard about or seen is a very cool concept. I don't know how well it'll execute. I have not seen anything, but the concept alone is very, very cool, and it's right up my alley.
Okay.
I don't know if it's getting picked up. I don't know how many episodes are airing, but I think this is, it's integration in the brand, and they're trying something new. And if you could put something on late hours that could get a couple 100,000 people that watch, that's fantastic. I don't know if that's what they're planning on doing, but 100% I would say that they are interested in out of the ring wrestling content.
Well, Cody took all that stuff with him, right?
What, that his show?
Remember, because they used to do like the road to whatever.
They did that. They had his show.
Right. And it was
Right.
like a lot of like Cody stuff, like the production and like the behind the scenes stuff. I always liked that, so maybe something like that.
Yeah.
This is from Amir. Pac, Phoenix, Claudio, Swerve, MJF versus Okada.
I'm into all of them.
I'd love that. This is from Amir again. When do you anticipate AEW pay-per-views going to Max?
They're actively negotiating the deal.
Mm-hmm.
There has been progress. It's not this is not a stale conversation. They are actively working on the deal. I think it's going to be done.
By the way, that going back to Revolution, the BR Live, they had so many problems apparently with that app, and they had to. Didn't they have to have Fight TV getting involved last minute?
No, Fight TV. Triller. Are we playing with knives? Yeah. It's not a knife. It's not a knife. This was confiscated.
Yeah, that's not
years
a knife.
ago. Just confiscated this from a student the last day of school.
That's awesome.
Ago. It's a bottle opener.
I know, it's awesome.
Awesome?
It's a really cool bottle opener.
Yeah.
So do you anticipate these pay-per-views going to Max?
Do I anticipate? Yeah. I don't know when. They're negotiating, but
why not?
That BR disaster. If anything, the disaster that BR was on Sunday probably escalated this to be a priority.
Fantastic.
So it kind of worked out. Any chance AEW brings in Grizzled Young Vets for the for a tag team tournament or Wembley? Rumor was they wanted out of their deals last year so they could work Wembley. I don't know. Sure they can.
Oh, here's a good one. Who do you want to do this year's Blood and Guts match?
Who is it? Trust the Process? Ooh.
Yeah, I trust the process.
Oh God. Okay.
Ooh.
Blood and Guts.
That is a good question.
Okada, the Bucks,
Something with the Elite. Yeah, that makes
BCC.
sense.
Well, who's available, right? You got BCC, that's a crew. You got the Elite, but who in the Elite? You got 3 people right now.
You have Kenny on the other side, Kenny Hangman and
Bang Bang Scissor Gang. You got them. You could do something of Bullet Club.
Mm-hmm.
The Adam Cole's crew. There's them.
Adam Cole's guys.
yeah.
Maybe House of Black is another one. Maybe Adam Cole's guys actually.
Oh yeah.
I think that'll be one piece. Them against BCC.
That'd be cool.
And maybe
I'd be down with that.
MJF comes back and
and
he
has
joins
his
the
own
other
crew.
Pinnacle gets back together.
because of that.
Ooh. do MJF on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Jericho could always bring back the Jericho Appreciation Society.
They could do all that.
They could do all that stuff. Like I feel like there's so many moving parts that they could put back together their crews, take away their crews. Does Okada have a face off with Chaos? Because we still have like Trent.
Trent's a leader of Chaos now. Yeah.
Trent and Rocky and Ishii are floating around, you know.
Pinnacle reunion versus Undisputed.
I'd be cool with that.
I'd be cool with that too.
Yeah. I do think FTR needs to turn heel again within the next few months.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm feeling it too.
As much as I love them as baby faces, I feel like as much as I love them as baby faces and BCC as heels, I think they need to reverse it sooner than later. Because the crowd can't help but cheer for Claudio and Mox.
I'm fine with them just being badasses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to tell me. Like Danielson, is he a heel or is he a face? I don't know. He wrestles like a heel.
Right. I think he's heel-ish, right?
Yeah.
But again, he's a guy that shows up and he's just a badass dude.
Yeah.
Is Samoa Joe a heel or a face?
Just a badass dude.
Right. You know, a lot of badass dudes. Same thing with Swerve. You can throw him into that category too.
Yeah.
Maybe a woman's blood and guts.
Oh, maybe a women's blood and guts.
That'd be cool.
Are you both Dragon Ball Z fans?
Yes.
Yes. Vegeta's my favorite. Imagine Vegeta's my favorite version of him. Cell Saga was great. The Frieza stuff was great.
All the Brawly stuff.
The Brawly stuff was cool. The Majin Buu story was great.
The androids.
Love Android 17.
Even now, like Dragon Ball Super, I really enjoy.
I've tried.
Yeah?
I've tried.
It's such a big universe at this point.
Did I ever tell you my favorite Dragon Ball Z?
No.
My favorite Dragon Ball Z. You know, Dragon Ball wasn't accessible to us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is just the beginning of going on Cartoon Network, right? What was it? That afternoon block that they had. So I discovered it, and I thought it was really fucking cool, right? Because, like, I knew of Dragon Ball, like, growing up in Flushing. Like, you know what Dragon Ball is. But it was really cool to see on TV, and all I wanted was the Super Saiyan stuff. That's all I wanted to see. I didn't give a shit about brunette Goku.
Yeah.
I fucking hate Goku, let me tell you.
Really?
Fucking wimp.
Oh, I love Goku.
Hate Goku. Fucking hate him. I wanted to see this. So my buddy goes, he's like, listen, there's a shop on Jamaica Avenue. They have all the English dubs. I said, great.
Let's go.
I went to Jamaica Avenue. And they're all bootlegs, right? You go into like this like hole in a wall.
VHS bootlegs
and they're VHS bootlegs. And they're like, oh, what do you want? And they had like everything listed, like Cell Saga, episodes, whatever. So I picked up a bunch. It was dubbed. Okay? It was the most... Listen, it was two like teenagers, like these black kids. Every other word was the N-word.
Wow.
And they were just making up the dialogue.
That's hysterical.
And it was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in
I
my
wish
life.
you had that tape.
I still have it.
Yeah?
It's in my attic somewhere.
Gotta find it.
I kept it, and we would watch it, and all of us would just die at it because the jokes were so good.
Yeah.
It was the Boondocks dubbed for Dragon Ball.
That's hysterical.
Okay? If I'm going to say, that's exactly, it was the greatest piece of lost VHSs that you could ever
You gotta
imagine.
find that. You gotta find it.
I have to find it. It was so good. It was so good. And you know what? We all watched it because that was the only time we had ever seen a lot of this stuff because we didn't have it. So like I watched the Cell Saga with like two kids dubbing it.
Yeah, and you're just like, what's happening? Yeah. But I think visually it was so impressive that you could figure out what's going on. I used to get, like when we were in junior high, and this is a million years ago too, like we used to get, so I grew up in Flushing, all my buddies were Korean. So we would get the Korean dubs of Japanese tapes with English subtitles.
Very cool.
So
that's what I would get too. Yeah.
And we would tape trade. We would burn the VHS copies at home.
Yeah.
Or like whoever had the two VCRs. Would be like, all right, I'm gonna make you a copy. I'll make you a copy. I'll make you a copy. And then everybody like tape traded all this stuff. It was so much fun. And my buddy would get the. He'd be up on the mangas. You know, like we'd go to like all these gnarly places to get these bootlegs. On like Roosevelt Avenue.
Yeah, I love that shit.
You know,
man. Nobody does that anymore.
I mean, like
everything's so accessible.
This is where we become old man radio. Where I was talking about this yesterday. Where like kids have so much access to stuff. There's no quest.
There is no quest. It's there.
It's there. There's no like going into a seedy neighborhood to get a bootleg, which is I guess a good thing. But we would get like all the anime stuff on bootleg. I still have a bunch of like VHSs that are on display somewhere in my apartment, from just like older stuff, like old weird movies, like old anime, and like a lot of the Dragon Ball stuff. Yeah,
That's how I got into it. I went down this rabbit hole. Like, Jess was like, I'm not into anime. Like, I never got into it. I'm like, she was like, how did you get into some of this stuff? I'm like, I like the older stuff. The new stuff, I'm so lost on. Like, the dialogue sucks to me.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't get it, right? 'Cause, again, I could be an old man. Attack on Titan, I love. That's
Attack on Titan's great.
Great show. But I was like, she was like, what was the first one? I'm like, Fist of the North Star.
Fantastic.
Fucking great. And Akira.
Akira's the best.
Akira is the best.
I'm shocked at how many people have not watched that.
I'm shocked at how many people have never heard of it. It is visually one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I still have my DVD of it.
Yeah,
Pioneer put out. Remember when the Pioneer put out that box
with
set?
the steel box?
With the steel box? I have it.
So good.
It visually, it is one of the most beautiful things.
Holds
and
up.
The story is so fucked up. It's so messed up. It's a dystopian Japan after the nuclear disaster. And it's just these street kids trying to live life.
Fantastic. I love it.
Telekinesis.
I watch that movie every so often. It's
another one,
streaming too.
Dialogue doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it does. It does. You got to watch it. When was the last time you watched it? Watch it through an adult lens. There you go.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah. Watch it through an adult lens. You'll love it. Vampire Hunter D, Ninja Scroll.
Good stuff.
The Fatal Fury movies.
I like the old ones. The old ones are great. And then it got weird now.
I think it's coming back. Like Jujutsu Kaisen's pretty good. There's a lot of good stuff out there. I can't do One Piece. I feel like it's too much.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got one more.
Right.
We got one more super chat.
do it.
I figured Bang Bang Gang, Bang Scissor Gang. Yeah, last one. I figured Bang Bang Scissor Gang formed so they could fight undisputed in Blood and Guts. But Bang Bang Scissor Gang seems to be falling on its face.
Well, Max Caster can't rap anymore.
Right.
And that's the story here.
That's funny. They're going to do their reveal again. He's going to be able to rap again. I feel like this is a very short-lived team.
I don't love it.
I think it's a placeholder.
I don't think it's
team.
helped either one.
I don't either.
I think it's a placeholder for Jay White.
For what?
For Ospreay and Okada and because you want to see that dude have 5-star matches.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. What would he be doing in WWE right now?
King of NXT.
Would he?
Yeah. I think he'd be that crossover NXT guy that gets the belt, talks his way onto Raw or SmackDown, and then he gets like a shot at somebody,
Yeah.
Like comes out on Raw or whatever with the NXT championship. Miz is the first feud. It's always the Miz.
It's always the Miz.
The gatekeeper. The gatekeeper to the gates
of
oblivion.
It was Dolph also.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are we done?
I think we're done.
Love you guys. Each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Jonathan is coming at 3.
Are you guys going to do another show?
We're going to do another show. I'm going to clean up the house a little. I'm going to order some wine from the liquor store.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. And I'm going to play Spider-Man on the couch. Oh, the update
awesome.
came out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's Play Plus or whatever they call it. So essentially, if you beat the game,
New Game Plus, yeah,
the New Game Plus. So like I could play it again with all the. I beat the game at 100%. I did everything.
I was there. I
did
witnessed
everything.
it last week. I witnessed it. It was awesome.
Yeah. So I'm playing again, but I'm playing it on hard now.
It was spectacular. It's good. It's more of a button masher.
I want more Spider-Man. I want more Spider-Man.
Same here.
I want to play as Venom.
Well, you're gonna get the Venom game. You're gonna get that Wolverine game.
The Wolverine game, I don't know how I feel about
I
it.
think it's gonna be awesome.
I hope so.
He's gonna murder everybody. I think it's gonna be very graphic.
Berserker Barrage. All right. Bye, everybody. Love you guys. See you next time on the show.